In the world of motorsport, there are many iconic corners. And then there is Eau Rouge. Welcome to the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Championship presented by Monster Energy. A brand new challenge awaits the drivers in Belgium as the legendary Spa-Francorchamps circuit joins the calendar for its World RX debut. Built nearly 100 years ago, the venue for round 3 is as close as you can get to motor racing holy ground. Situated among the steep hills and dark forests of the Ardennes countryside, Spa has played host to just about every form of motorsport, now adding World RX to its already impressive CV. After their Middle East adventure, the World RX regulars were back on familiar ground in Barcelona for round 2 of the championship, with 2 men in particular looking to get the job done. Both Hansen and Baccarat came through qualifying unscathed this time, and at the sharp end. The final saw the 4 headline makers from Abu Dhabi occupying the front 2 rows. The Hansen brothers P1 and P2, with Niklas Gronholm and Baccarat directly behind. The 2 siblings made a predictably clean start, Kevin tucking in behind poleman Timmy, while Baccarat outmanoeuvred Gronholm into turn 1, desperate to keep on their heels. Now the chase was on. The next 4 laps saw the RX cartel man trying to find a way past the younger Hansen as Big Brother opened up a gap out front. By the time lap 5 came, it was all about the battle for second. Kevin Jokinen just held off the challenge of Yannis Balmanis and Gronholm, leaving Baccarat just 1 lap to make up those crucial hundredths of a second. The final lap joker was a close one, but try as he might, the Norwegian just couldn't find a way through. Cue a historic 1-2 that only the Schumachers have matched at World Championship level. And an emotional celebration for Team Hansen MJP.
Once I finished and realized that now I'm a winner again, it was a huge relief and joy, and it was so emotional after everything we've gone through and after Abu Dhabi. Kevin is leading the championship. My only option is to go flat out again, and you know, I have to be extremely sharp. I have to refocus. I have to do everything perfect to try to catch the gap in the World Championship to my brother.
Timmy Hansen's win sees him move up to P3 in the driver standings, just 10 points behind Niklas Gronholm. But with his brother Kevin giving away only 4 points all weekend, closing that gap will be tough work. In the team standings, Hansen MJP's 1-2 result sees them take the lead from GRX Tanaco, while solid results for Baccarat and Doran moves Monster Energy RX Cartel up to 3rd, ahead of the 2 GCK squads. The new rallycross circuit here at Spa incorporates the mythical Eau Rouge, but every other part will be untouched by racing rubber until this weekend. No testing, no data, no reference points. With a level playing field like that, some of the World RX new boys might just see this as an opportunity to close the performance gap on Hansen & Co. Cyril Raymond took a sensational 5th place in only his 2nd World RX event at Barcelona, and Christian Sabo is the highest placed rookie in the standings. Could this be their chance to shine?
It's a good opportunity for us because there is no data, no video, so everybody will discover the track tomorrow on the free practice. The track looks amazing, especially Eau Rouge is a famous place in Formula 1, so I think it will be a very good sensation to drive on it.
I think it will be more equal for everyone. It's quite wide, some tricky points of the tracks, what I love the most. There you can win or lose everything.
It will be very, very intense for the drivers and for the car, and of course for the spectator, for the TV, it will be amazing.
I just can't wait for the start tomorrow.
Belgium will see a number of high-class additions to the driver lineup, with Johnny Weeman replacing Niklas Gronholm as he recovers from appendicitis, and Francois Duval making his 2019 debut in front of his home fans. But there's no doubting this weekend's biggest wildcard threat. The 2016 world champion is back. Matthias Ekström, in his 50th World RX event, reunited with his title-winning Audi, and he's not just here for the fun of it.
I mean, I've never been realistic in my mindset because I think that's boring, and doesn't matter if I do a wildcard race or full time. I always go racing to try and win. when you're part of a big team, there's also a lot of pressure, expectations. You have to do a lot of things to please others. In this case, I have to please myself and our little crew, and we actually have a lot of fun.
€6 million have been invested in this stunning new rallycross facility. Let's take a look at the challenge that awaits the drivers. Spa-Francorchamps, the legendary F1 circuit, now host to an FIA World Rallycross event. 40% dirt, 60% asphalt, anti-clockwise, and it's a very short track. We ride on board with Timazyanov on a super slippery braking zone into turn 1, then it's hard on the gas and through Eau Rouge, heading up towards Radillon. On the brakes, nice and straight, and he's going to need to use the handbrake here to get it turned in. It's a super tight hairpin. Gas, gas, gas down the hill. One of the fastest sections of any World Rallycross track. Over a crest and then braking. The Joker goes straight. We turn right. Wait for the car to turn in. Then on the gas into the unique banked gravel corner. Timmer sends the car in, balancing the throttle all the way through the long left hander. The Joker merges on your left, and then it's a jump to the finish line. Heavy rain for the start of the very first qualifying session at Spa-Francorchamps. Race 1, and it was Christian Sabo who got the whole shot, but it was Gerland Schischert who would lose out up at the hairpin. Sideways on the exit, he was collected by Yannis Baumanis and spun around. No such issues for Sabo, he took the win. Timo Scheider got the best start in his race. You ride on board with Guillaume de Ridder, a lifetime's ambition to be racing at Spa in a World Championship for the Belgian. Markland and Veeman chased Scheider to the line. Markland got him with a fantastic time. Veeman didn't. On board with Timazyanov, he loses out at the start to Andreas Backrud. Sideways in turn 1, just leans on Bennett at the exit. The Russian was looking super fast, but a technical issue at the end of the race meant he couldn't challenge Backrud, who went fastest so far. Liam Doran down towards turn 1 ahead of a very strong field in the final race of Q1. Matthias Ekstrom shutting the door on Kevin Hansen through Eau Rouge. The fantastic banked corner at Spa RX proving that multiple lines can work. Doran coming out just in front of Hansen and Kevin just beating Ekstrom, but come the final lap, the win, but he wasn't quick enough to beat Andreas Backrud. On to Q2, the fastest drivers first after the grids were flipped. Johnny Weeman trying to come around the outside of Scheider, almost in the wall, and took the spot from the World Championship leader. Brilliant driving by the Russian. On to the final lap though, no one was anywhere near Liam Doran. A stunning time for the Brit. Yannis Baumanis bullied his way to the front in turn 1, but this one was all about the battle of the Belgians. Contact over the jump between de Ridder and Duval, with de Ridder getting the better of his more famous countryman. Baumanis takes the win, but Doran wins Q2 and his overnight TQ.
I'd like to think that I can hang at this level, but I've been struggling the last 2 races. Been the first 2 races with this team in this car, so I can't be too hard on myself. But yeah, here it's given me the advantage. It's a new track for everyone again, so I've lost that little bit of a gap to everyone, and I'm very, very happy.
A brilliant 1-2 then for the Monster Energy RX cartel, with Doran at the top of the table from Backrud, Weeman, Scheider, Sabo, Baumanis, Raymond and Timazyanov. The Hansens are a long way down the page, along with Matthias Ekstrom in 12th. Work to do tomorrow if they want to be at the front of the semi-finals.
Well, it was a difficult day on Q1 and Q2 for the Hansens. P10 and P11 overnight after what was a dominant display, of course, in Catalonia and Abu Dhabi. Timmy, for you, after that clean sweep in Catalonia, what have you learned from yesterday? It was all change here in Belgium.
Yeah, it was the first time we ran in wet conditions, and I think actually it was a good day. You know, that Q1 race with the big fight of me and Liam. It was a good battle. It was really rallycross. I was really happy after that, and I did win the heat race. Of course, Liam is now top of the standings, so you know, it was actually in Q2 it probably went a bit wrong. I missed the start. I think we do have the pace and everything, and I'm happy with the day, but not with the result, if you understand what I mean. So me and Kevin are P10, P11 now. That's not where we wanted to be, of course, and it's very different to head into day 2 on the back foot rather than the past 2 events. I've had 100 points from the first day, so then you can play it, you know, very strategic, save tires and everything for late on. Now I think we have to be flat out to try to make up as many positions through Q3 and Q4 as we can. And it will be difficult because it's a new day, it's dry. Nobody has driven here in dry. I'm starting on the outside in my race in Q3, so yeah, it will be a challenge today. But you know, I just have to get in my zone, and then hopefully with a good launch and some good speed, we can do well today.
Thank you very much. Yep, so the leader of the overall championship standings as well, winner in Abu Dhabi, is Kevin Hansen. And we will speak to Kevin right now. Kevin, what happened to you yesterday? How do you look back on the day?
Yeah, it was a tough day, I would say. I think we had a great pace again, and just a bit unlucky. I think some people gambled a bit on the dry tire. We went safe with the wet, and I think, you know, it wasn't the right decision, but in the position we are, we know we are strong. We didn't want to gamble too much. So in the end, we are 10 and 11 after day one. It's not where we used to be this season. So for the Sunday, we will try to push it really hard and get up to the front row of the semis.
And very different conditions today. It's dry, it's sunny. How are you approaching it?
Yeah, I think it will be really fun today. You know, this track is really aggressive and you have to push a lot. Yesterday on the tarmac it was very slippy, so you couldn't really bring that approach. So today with the dry and with the Cooper tire, you know, with such a nice drivability on them, we can really push hard on the tarmac as well.
Thank you very much, and best of luck to you and your brother here today.
Well, going to be tricky for the Hansens, some work to do on day two, but we know how fast they can be. Will we see the Peugeots further up the semi-finals later today? Hello from the legendary Spa-Francorchamps. My name is Andrew Coley. Joining me on commentary duty is Dan Rook, and reporting from the paddock and the pre-grid, Laura Winter. Well, as we go into Q3, Liam Doran leads overnight. Second time ever in his career from his teammate Andreas Backrud. Then it's Wiemann, Scheider, Sabo, Baumanis, Raymond and Timers Yarnov. Markland is ninth, but it's the Hansens with work to do if they want to get up to the sharp end, along with 2016 champion Ekstrom. Q3 and sunshine for Sunday morning contact off the line between the Belgians Ede and Duval. Out front, Paul 3 managed to get the whole shot. Duval did get underneath Ede, but he couldn't get back to Paul 3 out front. Fantastic drive by the Norwegian, and at the Joker lap merge, he took the win. So 2:19.976 for Paul 3, and that would be enough for him to have won both sessions. It was 7 seconds faster than they were going yesterday. Now, bear in mind, Paul 3 is, with all credit to him, you know, not one of our fastest drivers. I think we're looking at a hell of a time being knocked off here with the supercars, but great drive by him. He's beaten a WRC legend here. Well done, Paul. Nicely done. Okay, let's take a look at the grid for race 2 Q3. Christian Sabo, Matthias Ekstrom, Guillaume de Ridder, Oliver Bennett and Anton Markland. Bennett has gone for 4 new tyres. Sabo and Ekstrom should be sensible on the inside, but we'll see. So Ekstrom has done a load of work on this car up at Hollius in between the events. As a non-permanent driver, he's free to test at the World Championship tracks. We know they've got brand new dampers across all 4 of the cars, and when I say the 4, I don't know about Enzo Ede's car, but Ekstrom, Sabo, Backrud and Doran all running it, and they're P1 and P2 at the minute, Monster Energy RX Cartel. So great start even across. Bennett got a fantastic start on the outside, but Sabo's going to get the whole shot. Little nudge. Is anyone going to end up in the wall? It's pretty close from Bennett, but he holds on. Ekstrom gets P2. Oh, de Ridder trying to come up the inside of Bennett, so Bennett gets pushed wide. Round the left-hander, de Ridder's holding on to P3. Ekstrom, is it? No, sorry, Sabo and Ekstrom. So Ekstrom into the lead.
Yeah, so Ekstrom's going to be loving this now. Got himself a bit of clear track to really try and...
Contact in the background on the way into the joke lap there. Markland got a push from Bennett. So Bennett into the side of Markland. Bennett goes out wide, going to try and come out tight on the joke lap. I think Markland will hold on, though.
Yeah, so Ollie into the back of Anton Markland again there. So Ollie taking a wider line, getting a later apex, having the car pointing straight, carrying that bit more extra momentum out of the corner and just had nowhere to go.
No, I didn't see where Ekstrom got Sabo. It must have been up at the hairpin because Sabo was leading as they came through Eau Rouge, and I was looking at the rear of the pack. Markland and Bennett, you're looking at who's Joker. We're on board with de Ridder down the hill. Where's de Ridder going to go? De Ridder goes Joker, so this will be to protect the positions behind him. And of course, one of those positions is Markland, who's in the senior GCK squad, if you want to call it that. We've got GCK Academy as well. De Ridder wants to get to the semi-finals here at home. He's had a problem. No! De Ridder's had a problem on the inside. Is the car broken? So Guillaume de Ridder, the Belgian at home, has had a disaster. And to me, that car's on a go slow. So this is about Ekstrom out front now, setting a benchmark time for everyone. But Sabo's going with him. And Sabo, of course, sees Ekstrom very much as his mentor. He'd be loving the chance to follow him.
Yeah, of course. Just literally, it makes it so much easier to get yourself a good time as well, especially when you're following an experienced driver like Matthias, able to use the lines. You can see how the side window there, how sideways they are. You can see Szabo out of Matthias's side window there. So
fantastic.
Really throwing the cars in.
Edoc's fastest lap for Matthias Ekstrom. Brilliant, 32.7. We're into the 32, so Ekstrom's on an absolute flyer up the hill as late as can be on the brakes. He's gapped Szabo just a little bit. They're both getting a joker on this last lap. Szabo sideways through the hairpin. Nicely done.
Yeah, fantastic job as these guys, I believe they're going to comfortably come out in front of Markland here.
2:19.976 is the target time of Paul 3 from the previous race. Ekstrom is early on the brakes and early on the handbrake to get the car rotating straight. That's the time you're looking for. He's on the gas, he's going to run the car wide over the line, try and cross the timing line as early as he can. 2:16.7. Fantastic, 3.2 seconds fast, but I have to say as well, that shows how well Paul 3 was going in the previous race, because that's impressive to be within that amount of time to Ekstrom. De Ridder's car going okay, so De Ridder had a problem then. I don't know if he's done some sort of a reset in the middle of the race, but that's cost De Ridder dear, and that's a real shame. 16 seconds off there, De Ridder, with that issue. Gutted. Where was he overnight? De Ridder was out. He was 14th, so he might have been able to make it, but he'll need a brilliant result now. De Ridder at the back of the pack. Bennett in front of him. Then Markland, Szabo and Ekstrom with the new target time, 2:16.7. The top three go to the top of the timesheets.
Matthias, 3 seconds quicker than our first race. The track looks a lot faster today. How good is it to be back in a World Rallycross car out there racing?
Yeah, it was good fun, but I think track evolution will be pretty big, so we have to be happy with this, but still it's a long day to go and collect some good points and have a lot of fun.
Thank you, well done.
Thank you.
Here we go then. This is the full lineup for race 3 of Q3. Timozyanov with that fantastic pass yesterday. He's on the pole for this one. Next to him, Gulan Shisharit, Kevin Hansen in the middle, Andreas Backrud and Timmy Hansen. Everybody is on new boots. All 5 cars have got 4 new tyres, and of course that is probably because yesterday they were using wets, so they've got the tyres available to them. We know some people took a gamble on slicks. We'll talk to Dan Rook about that in a second. Restart then for race 3 of Q3 after Shisharit jumped the start first time around. The marshals are going to give them the thumbs up. This time they'll hope to get away. Timmy Hansen goes through his warm-up procedure again. Normally a bit of shouting and thumping in the car to get himself fired up, and it's tricky, of course, when you've got a restart and you have to go again. That adrenaline all comes, all goes, and it has to come back again. Now the lights. Good start, Timothy on the inside, but great start backward. Absolutely flies off the line. Going to try to get to the inside. Timmy going to try and go around the outside of Timmer. Timmer holds the inside line here. Timmy Hansen on his right. Can he hold on to the braking zone? Up into the hairpin. The Russian driver's going to push Timmy wide. Held on very nice indeed. Kevin's going to have to slide too. Timmy's got the inside line though down into the next one. So is Timmy going to go deep on the brakes in the Peugeot? He does, and Timmer has to give the place back. So Timmer places swapping into the joke lap. Kevin Hansen has gone, and Shisharit as well. So you're on board with Timmer, who gets up underneath Timmy. Timmy does what Liam did yesterday, gets back underneath the Russian. Side by side over the jump. This has gone on for the whole lap. Timmer's now on the outside, going to try and cut to the inside. Timmy runs wide. The Russian's going to get back up the inside of Timmy through Eau Rouge again. This is a mega fight. On the brakes again into the hairpin, and this time Timmer has to give best, does he? He's on the inside again. Dan, this is incredible.
Absolutely fantastic stuff here. These guys are really going for it. Timozyanov now looking at going on to the joker lap. He's getting himself out of that fight, trying to get himself a clear space so he can put lap times in.
Oh, mate, we're loving it, but that's not the way to set a quick time, of course, is it? This is Kevin Hansen and Timmy Hansen now taking the super wide line. Kevin's up the inside of Timmy. These guys have got to stop this. They're down in P10 and P11. They've got to find the time. Kevin now does to Timmy does to Kevin what Timmer did to him, but Timmer's right up behind them almost. Yeah, you can see Timmer's gained on them already.
Timozyanov is going to be loving seeing these fights. He's on the inside of Hansen as they come around the hairpin. You can see on the onboard camera there. So Timozyanov now is going to be praying that Timmy goes for the joker, and he does. So he's got himself some clear air.
So backward out front, completely untroubled. Into the joker lap goes Timmy. Timozyanov is in the P3. Kevin, of course, already gone, and Timmy's lost out big time. He's going to lose out to Shisharit, who's joker twice. Contact over the jump. Timmy Hansen, who took a clean sweep in Barcelona, is in P10. We know the pace is there. He's as quick as any of these guys, but Timmy's been unlucky here because he's got caught up in a fight with Timmer. He's been in a fight with his brother. Now he's in a fight with Shisharit.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he just made a small mistake in the joker lap there. He ran wide and looked like the car bogged a little bit, so not able to get away.
2:16.7, Matthias Ekström time, backwards in an 18-spec car. Can he beat it? Kevin Hansen's on the gas around the outside. Kevin, the silent assassin in this one, but it is Backward who takes it, and he does beat it. 2:16.0, 0.6 of a second faster for Andreas Backward. Kevin Hansen doing really well, and that shows you where Timmy could have been if he hadn't had his little issues in those fights. So still a good time for all these guys, but what a great fight.
Oh, that's amazing, isn't it? Of course, but let's not forget Shisharit. Shisharit had 2 joker laps and still managed to beat Timmy Hansen.
You wonder what he might have done without. I mean, he certainly could have gone a little bit quicker. So fantastic job by Shisharit too. Really, really good. But this track layout, I've never seen cars go side by side for a whole lap and then straight onto another fight with Kevin. Poor Timmy must have been like, come on, like, give me a break. Timmer was mega, wasn't he? Oh, I love it. Timmer's on fire this weekend. Timmer's Yarnov down in P8. Where will he be after Q3? Here's the result then of Q3 Race 3. Backward taking it 2:16.0. Will that be enough to give him his second session win of the weekend? Kevin Hansen P2, good job by him. Timmer's Yarnov with that fight, Shisharit as well, and Timmy Hansen ends up down in 5th. Here's where they slot in. So Timmy's still in 7th place, but of course we've got 5 very quick guys still to come. So Kevin with a bit of a recovery, not so much for Timmy. Well, let's take a look at this. How do you pick the replays from this one? We need to see the whole race again.
Yeah, we may as well, but obviously you can see here Backward just getting himself that clean start, and then that just gave him the advantage for the rest of the race. The rest of them all bunched there together. Timmy Janov up the inside onto the hairpin in lap 1, and then Timmy now back at him again coming down the hill.
There's Timmer on the inside, so good. Look, and then he gets back up the inside of him on the exit, just riding on board with him. The berm corner working out a treat. Timmer's Yarnov then up the inside of Timmy up at the hairpin, and again it shows you the alternative lines around the hairpin work too. This track is wide, Dan.
It's so cool, this track. It just shows the difference that these guys do not even know what is the fastest line. It's proving that people are overtaking different ways, and now they're just trying to figure it out.
Well, an almighty battle in that race, but you probably weren't that aware of it, were you? How did it feel so far out in front there?
Well, to be honest, I had no idea. I was pushing as I could. I tried to play it a little bit safe at the same time, because it is easy to get a puncture and it is easy to do a mistake, but I felt I had 14 laps, didn't do much out of it. But we have more in the box, but we play a little bit more on the safe side as well. Starts are mega, so big thank you to KYB and Matthias for doing a great test last weekend in Sweden. It has helped massively, so yeah, big thank you. Also to all the Backward Blues, the RX Cartel, you guys are amazing.
Good times continue for Monster Energy RX Cartel. Well done. Thank you, Andreas.
Final race of Q3 then. Let's take a look at the grid for race 4. Liam Doran, the overnight TQ. It's only the second time he's done that in his career. He did it in 2015 in Hockenheim, where he also won a session. This was his second ever heat win when he won Q2 yesterday. Yannis Baumanis, Cyril Raymond, both those guys doing well in 6th and 7th. But Jonny Weeman, 3rd after Q2. This is his second outing in the Supercar, I believe, in 2.5 years. It's only his second race weekend in World RX ever. And Timo Scheider, look, 4th after Q2. So really mixed up this weekend, but the conditions are different. What's going to happen now? So Doran, in theory, can match that pace of Backward and Ekström, who are currently 1st and 3rd in this session. But yesterday, of course, it was wet. He looked impressive during free practice this morning warm-up. He was on a big send, said to everyone, if you thought I was sending it yesterday, you wait for today. What's going to happen in turn 1? Great start, Doran on the inside, but Scheider's got a fantastic start too. Maybe Scheider can't get in. Weeman trying to go contact across all 4 cars. Weeman sideways, Scheider has to back out the whole thing. Baumanis ends up P2, and Doran has got the whole shot, just what he needed.
Yeah, fantastic job there, and I'm sure sharing information from all of the Audis before him on launch settings and so on, so able to get himself in there, but really even start, no one able to even turn in because all of the cars are there together.
So into the joker lap, who's gone in this one? Weeman's gone in, Scheider's gone in as well, so it's Weeman and Scheider have gone joker. Doran around the outside. This is his style, in big time sideways, but out straight.
Yeah, exactly. I was watching Liam in free practice, and he comes off the right-hander at the bottom of the hill. He carries a bit of sideways, and then he literally throws the car on the brake pedal, transitions the weight around, and he's backwards then into the final corner, but then he's got himself straight to come across the jump.
We saw Ekstrom doing it too. Big, aggressive steering inputs to deliberately upset the balance of the car. Watch for Doran through here. Talk us through it, Dan.
Yeah, so Liam, they're actually going a bit smoothly, but you can see here now, really, really aggressive. He'll be using a tiny dab of brake to throw the car, but then just straight back on the power and using the momentum of the wheels to get himself turned and stopped and going again.
So Weeman has got Balmanis. Balmanis Joker's on 3, but Weeman is in front of him. So Yanni Weeman on an absolute flyer again. You can't count him out and say P3 overnight. He's the danger man for Doran. It's a gap of 1.7. Liam Doran will have to head into the Joker lap in the next couple of laps. So is he going to go now or is he going to wait for the last one? I think he'll go now and try and protect it. He doesn't, so Doran holds on. So Doran holds on for the last lap, Dan.
Yeah, for me, Liam should have gone then. Yoni Weeman actually, he took 6/10 out of Liam on that final lap, so Yoni Weeman on a big charge.
So could Weeman take his first ever qualifying session win in the World Rallycross Championship here in Belgium? Doran, the British bomb, currently the TQ, up to the top of the hill and late on the brakes. He's going to have to get this absolutely perfect. Yanni Weeman flying too. Weeman went for another track walk yesterday after they were regrading the track. He was out there with UC Pinamaki, of course runs the GRX team. Here we go then. Doran on the inside, target time 2:16.0. Weeman round the outside. He's earlier and tidier into the long sweeper. On the exit there, Doran's on the gas. He's going to try and hold on, but Weeman's got way more pace over the line. I think Yanni Weeman's going to get it. He does. So 2:17.3 for Weeman. It's not the fastest time, but he does win the race, and that means that Backrud has won his second qualifying session of the weekend here at Spa-Francorchamps. Another great race. So different lines working in different ways.
Yeah, it's so varied. I mean, it's going to be hard for these guys to really work out. They're going to be going back now, looking at the data to figure out which way is the best way to take every corner.
Yanni Weeman then takes the win, 2:17.3, just by 0.2 of a second from Liam Doran. Balmanis, Scheider, Cyril Raymond. They slot in, so the top 4 were faster. We'll bring you the standings after Q3 in a second and see where everyone is. Backrud was in second. Has he done enough to take it away from Liam Doran? I think he has, because Doran's down in 6th. I think Backrud is going to end up taking the TQ at this point. There's one session to go. So this was the start. Doran gets away, but it was in the outside. Look, contact, literally, I think at that, there was one point there where all 5 cars were leaning on each other.
Yeah, so of course, when everyone's leaning on each other like that, nobody can rotate the car to get turned in, so it was almost looked like everyone was sending it for the tyre bales.
Cyril Raymond at the inside got hooked up, didn't he, on the hairpin? This was Doran style through the big long sweeper with Balmanis behind. This big dust cloud they're sending up. The VIP spot viewing area is on the outside of turn 1, so there's some VIPs up there, I think, with a bit of dirt in the champagne. But that's rallycross, you know? So Doran coming around the inside. He was hot on the way in. Weeman, though, was hot on the way out. Weeman took it, but it's Backrud who wins the session.
Yanni, just your second ever World Rallycross weekend, and you've just won that final tough battle then. How much are you enjoying being out there?
Yeah, it's really nice. Now when it's dry, I'm more comfortable in the car, and I think you can see it on the track also. But it was close with Liam, but you know, happy I came out to win it.
Thank you very much. Well done.
Here are the standings then after Q3, and Andreas Backrud, with his second session win of the weekend, takes the TQ from his teammate Liam Doran, and that's actually a significant gap now between them on the points. So can Backrud get a TQ here in Belgium? Yanni Weeman, what a performance from him this weekend. He's in 3rd. Then it's Kevin Hansen, who's moved up brilliantly. Timur Timosyanov, Sabo, Balmanis, and Matthias Ekstrom up to 8th from 12th. Scheider, Mark, and Timmy Hansen is still down in 11th place, so he's gone down a place compared to last night. Cyril Raymond is in 12th. That's where Ekstrom was. Sheetzerit, Duval, Bennett, Paltry, and everybody else behind currently missing out in the semi-finals, but we've got one more session to go. A brand new rallycross track here at Spa-Francorchamps, and that is 2016 World Rallycross champion Matthias Ekstrom coming through Eau Rouge and up Rédillon. Fantastic track here, Dan, but super wet conditions for the drivers in free practice when we shot this.
Yeah, of course, obviously a new track and everyone having to learn lines and you know, their grippy patches when it's wet and things like that. Matthias there catching a bit of paint on the way through Eau Rouge, looking like it pulled the car slightly to the left and slightly offline, so it's tricky to find the right sort of line here.
And we saw different people taking a different approach to that. Baccarat was avoiding the paint all the way through free practice, where Jonny Wieman, who's here this weekend, was using the paint every time. Here's Timo Scheider up towards the hairpin, and this is really a handbrake hairpin, particularly in the wet.
Yeah, exactly. You come uphill, you're carrying so much speed, and you've got quite a late braking point, but you can see in the back there, rotating the car really early on the handbrake, having to use a bit of opposite lock as he gets out of the corner, but ideally wanting those wheels facing straight to get maximum speed down the hill.
It's a very, very fast run down the hill before the split to the Joker, and we see Andreas Baccarat in the Joker. Big curb on the inside, but all gravel.
Yeah, all gravel here, but it's really important to get the car slowed down. It's quite a tight corner, so these guys really need to hook it in on the inside, get the car stopped, pointing straight and going out again.
It's a race to the finish line there. The merge is quite short. You can run the car across the track and try and block the guy behind you. And of course, Jonny Wieman coming through the inside. Now, I think he's on a slightly tighter line, or he certainly rotated the car a bit earlier.
Yeah, definitely. He's rotated the car quite early there, and maybe slightly over-rotated from what he wanted. You can see him having to put a bit opposite lock back into the car, but car riding the bumps well there and able to keep it fairly straight as it comes out the corner.
Hyundai was looking fantastic during free practice over some of the bumps. We're going to take a look at one of the corners, which has been a little bit bumpy because of the way the gravel runs out. And this, of course, is the fantastic flat-out banked sweep around the outside. I say flat-out, it's hard on the gas stand because they're just pointing the nose in.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome, this corner. We've seen so many different approaches to it here, and you can see Timmy Hansen running quite high, using the bank to his advantage, able to get a really good run out of the corner. But you can see there how much the track's rutting up. We've got some real deep gravel here at Spa, and it is proving to be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, proper rallycross surface. Liam Doran on the inside, the British bomb on form, sideways around the last corner in the Audi, and again, there's those ruts that Dan's talking about. But the drivers all loving this circuit. We're loving it too. Some brilliant pictures and some brilliant racing. Just one more qualifying session to go here in Belgium. At the minute, Baccarat tops the table from his teammate Doran. Then it's Wieman, Hansen, Timosjanov, Sabo, Baumanis and Matthias Ekstrom in the top 8. With work to do, though, look further down. Timmy Hansen, P11, the winner last time in Spain, desperately needs to be at the sharp end if he wants to stand a chance of winning here. And could any of the Belgians make the semi-finals? There's one session left to go. So Q4, race 1, here we go. Ollie Bennett on the inside from Enzo Eid, Gregoire Demoustier, Herve Napik and Guillaume de Ridder. De Ridder unfortunately dropped down to 17th place. New tyres on his car in the hopes he might make the semis. De Ridder was really unlucky with some sort of an issue with the car, which cost him time. I think Danny could have fought his way up. Bennett, we know, is a fast starter and he's got a good grid slot there. For me, this is between Bennett and de Ridder. But let's see. Right, here we go. Q4. Very good start. Bennett on the inside. Herve Napik too. Guillaume de Ridder, though, slams the door in Napik's face, having none of that on the gas. De Ridder's on the lock, stops through turn 1. Bennett, though, with the whole shop and clear on the run-up to Eau Rouge. So de Ridder now has got to decide about Joker Lap tactics because he's not going to want to drop back into this traffic.
No, but we see there Ollie ran a little bit wide in the hairpin, so Guillaume, although back and looking up the inside now, late on the brakes. He's really lean on Ollie. He's got up the inside. Ollie got to the Joker Lap now, so being forced out wide there because of the contact.
Yeah, there was contact, wasn't there, on the way in? So tight. De Ridder as well from a long way back just made the move. Enzo Eid going with him. I'm quite impressed with Enzo Eid. First time in the World Rallycross Supercar.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like it's an easy car to drive either. And I'm not sure, has he done any loose surface before as well? So
yeah, he's had a couple of 17th places here. We're on board with de Ridder on the way up through Eau Rouge and into the hairpin. So a little bit of handbraking away. Let's fight on board with him down the hill. Listen to this.
Gravity assisting him on the way down, feeding it gears. It's just constantly up on the
feeding it gears. Yes. 600 horsepower and a sequential gearbox. It doesn't get much more fun. Dan, look at the bumps through there and how he has to adjust the car.
Yeah, so really difficult. And I mean, these guys are also going to be using a bit of left foot braking as well, just to keep the diffs locked up and to try and settle the car down whilst they go over the bumps.
Enzo Weed's going with De Ridder, so he's doing well. Bennett's on the back of that train, and Bennett has actually taken the joke, as we know, after that first lap, a little bit of contact. So I wonder what De Ridder's going to do, if he's going to try and gap him or if he might go joker. It looks like he's on the brakes for the standard lap now, but Bennett's making up time on these guys.
Yeah, to me, De Ridder needs to find some extra pace. On that last lap, Ollie Bennett took 3 tenths out of him, so really impressive stuff by Ollie finding the speed here.
They're all running a little bit deep on the way into that corner, aren't they? Seeing the gravel fly up towards the grandstands, fantastic. But now Bennett onto the back of Eade, so if Eade runs wide on the exit there, can Bennett get any nearer to him? Not quite. He's not at the point where he's being held up, and it's the last lap, so it's going to come down to joker lap pace. Bennett straightens the Mini up on the run down the hill. De Ridder goes into the joker lap, so he brakes late and straight over the bump into the right-hander. Bit of gas through, so Bennett coming around the outside in the Mini. He's got a fair crack at this. It's 2.4 seconds over the lead. De Ridder could do it too. Enzo Weed taps the wall on the inside. De Ridder on the gas. He's going to beat Bennett to it, I think. Oh, no, he doesn't. Bennett gets him. Bennett takes it by a tenth of a second. Well done, Ollie Bennett. Couldn't see where De Ridder was off the side of our shot there after Enzo Weed ended up just tapping the wall. Eade has made the finish as well. But Bennett there, after contact when De Ridder passed him on lap 1, has managed to take the win. Good job by the Brit. So Oliver Bennett takes it from Guillaume De Ridder, Enzo Weed, De Moustier and Napik. Bennett's time is a 2:21.4. It was about 5 seconds quicker than that to win the session last time out. So that would have seen him in, would have seen him down in about 14th, 15th place in the last session. So I think we're going to see quicker, Dan, but the track is developing.
Yeah, of course.
So another look at the start.
Yeah, so a bit of a messy start there. De Ridder then right on the lock stops, foot flat, trying to keep himself out of the wall, but actually getting quite a good run up the hill.
This is where he comes down the hill, look, to try and make, or seeing up the hill first of all. Now he has a look at the bottom of the hill. Little nudge from behind, you can see. So he now decides, right, I'm going up the inside of Bennett. We didn't see it, but there was a little bit of contact, and Bennett, you think, was kind of forced into the joke, but actually it worked a treat.
Yeah, so where De Ridder came up his inside, Ollie then wasn't able to turn in, so thought, well, I may as well shoot off, do the joker lap and get it out of the way, and then it's proving to work well for him at the end of the race, getting some pace on De Ridder and coming across the line and taking the win.
Well, just as Ollie's taking off his helmet, that was a brilliant race, a great finish against De Ridder off that merge onto the joker lap. How was it from your driver's seat?
Yeah, really good race. I mean, we've had great starts all weekend, just haven't been able to make them pull off. And again, it was a tough start there, but yeah, it's been a great weekend for the team. The pace is really there now, so I think if we just get a bit of luck with the start and things, then yeah, onwards from here, hopefully.
Thank you very much. Well done to you.
Cheers, thank you.
5 cars down on the grid and good to go. Let's see the lineup for Q4 race 2. Anton Markland, 10th after Q3. Paul 3 with that brilliant drive, beating Francois Duval, who's next to him there, 14th and 16th. Could Duval sneak a Belgian into the semi-finals? I think it'll be tough. He's going to have to score fantastically well to do it. Timo Scheider is in 9th. Cyril Raymond is 12th. So Cyril is right on the cusp. He needs a good result here. So a few of these drivers after a decent start. Scheider and Raymond are both in at the minute. Markland 2. Scheider is the safest in 9th. Markland in 10th and Raymond in 12th. Looking at the points, it's going to be hard for the people behind to challenge them, but they're all going to want to get up as far as they can. Good start, Markland on the inside, but great side. Raymond on Scheider on the outside, even quicker. Scheider goes round the outside. Duval lights the throttle up. He's going to take it all the way to the wall. Contact between him and Markland to Eau Rouge. Markland's on the inside on the run-up on the brake. Scheider's going to try and go deeper, get on the handbrake, get underneath him on the exit, but Markland's wise to it, keeps it tidy. Great driving from both Markland and Scheider.
Yeah, fantastic stuff by Markland there to keep himself in and not let Scheider get back on him.
Paul 3 is it, I think, who's gone into the joker. No, Cyril Raymond, sorry. Cyril Raymond's gone joker. And Paul 3, look, on the low line, proving that there is some pace in there. But if you're going to lose time on the exit like he is there, Duval's now going to eat him up.
Yeah, exactly. So carrying more like entry and mid-corner speed, but then really losing out. As you can see, he just dropped car lengths off the back of Scheider on the way out.
Francois Duval up the hill, looking for a way past Paul 3. Looks up the inside, but 3's got that cover. The bumper is hanging off the back of the ES Motorsport Skoda. That'll be be another one for the scrap at the end of this weekend. And Duval goes Joker. That's the right thing to do.
Yeah, so obviously Cyril behind him gone Joker as well. So we'll be interested to see what Cyril does. He looks like he's got good pace here.
He's got it lit up on the gas around the outside. Duval going to try and hold the position, but I think Cyril Raymond is just going to get it. Duval's got the inside line though into turn one. Contact between Duval and Raymond. Raymond on the gas. Where are they going to come through? In the background, you can see Cyril just holding on. Duval, they're going to try and outbrake him, and he can't this time. So Cyril Raymond now up underneath Paul 3. He needs 3 to go on this lap. Otherwise, Cyril's going to get held up even more. Paul 3 is going standard lap. So Paul 3 goes standard lap. That's not ideal for Cyril. It's going to come down now to whether he'll find a way through. He's not going to challenge the guys out front looking at the gap anyway. So Markland versus Scheider. Paul 3 goes super deep up the banking, but Raymond alongside, contact over the jump again. Tree gets pushed around. Cyril might get in trouble for that because that's kind of pushed him round, Dan. What do you think? He was over the jump, so maybe not. Duval has had a spin in turn 1-2 under the commentary position. Duval has had to handbrake the Skoda round. Carnage in this one then, but out front, Markland and Scheider both choosing to joker on the last lap. Markland leading Timo in, and they're aiming for that time of Bennett, 2:21.4. There's Paul 3. So Paul 3 is blocking the finish, but he won't be in the way too much. Markland comes around, he'll see them out in front. He takes it. Scheider 1.4 off. Paul 3 is going to try and get round. He wasn't lapped, so in theory, Paul 3 should get a finish time here. Francois Duval, though, is parked underneath the commentary box, and that is definitely going to mean he's not going to make it through to the semi-final. So we're not going to have any Belgians in the semis here at Spa-Francorchamps. Duval there with a DNF, Paul 3, 2:53.3 after that big hold-up after the contact with Cyril Raymond. No such problems for Markland and Scheider up front, 2:16.7. Is a good 5 seconds faster, and 2:16.7 by Markland is a great time. That would have seen him right up at the sharp end. So Markland's had a bit of a stormer here in Q4. It's going to depend how the track is developing. Take another look back at this one. Start on the outside, look, Scheider on the inside, Markland. Scheider goes all the way around the outside, nicely done, and of course Markland on the inside can just hold his line. But that, racing like that, great. They didn't give any space at all.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. I mean, there wasn't too much contact either, so these boys still playing fair. And, yeah, it just shows that you can go from the outside and get a good start like Scheider did.
Got to hook it up off the line, though, if you want to do that. This was, so this is Duval later in the race. Sideways WRC style. He's a cracking driver, isn't Duval? It's a bit of a shame he hasn't made it. So this is Cyril. No, having seen that again, I don't think Cyril's really got anywhere to go.
No, so, you know, Paltry has come off the corner. He's kind of collected Cyril, and Cyril's heading for the wall. He's trying to get out of it, and they're about to go, and unfortunately, sending Paltry around.
Well, a really quick time, absolute carnage behind you. How was it from your driver's seat?
Yeah, it was quite good. I mean, we have been having the fastest lap time of everybody today from Q1, and but unfortunately we have been struggling in the starts. We were now in Q4 as well, but I was fighting Timo, I think, quite nice up into turn 2, and then after that leading the race. I don't know what happened behind me, but for sure I think that my feeling is that I'm very happy with the car and the dampers. Everything is just working absolutely fine, so looking forward to the semi-final spot now.
Thank you, well done.
Q4, race 3, here we go. Liam Doran on the inside, Christian Sabo next to him, then it's Balmanis, Schiesrit and Timmy Hansen. Timmy Hansen, look, 11th. Schiesrit, if he got a stormer here, and bear in mind that Markland's just had a great run, he could possibly drag himself in, but he needs a real stormer. Sabo and Balmanis 6th and 7th. Doran's 2nd, look, Doran's not using tyres up, he's saving them for the semis. Timmy Hansen with a big deep breath. On the outside, he's going to need that. We saw Scheider get a good start from outside. In the previous race, he was 1 slot in where Schiesrit is. We saw Markland get a good start too. Doran got the car pointed towards the middle of the road. Everybody hooks it up down towards turn 1, contact across Timmy Hansen, trying to find a way around, doesn't even look in the mirrors, just sends it to the front. Brilliant start by Timmy Hansen. He never even had a glance across, he just went for it.
Yeah, fantastic job there, and real commitment paying off. He's got himself out in front now and carrying the extra momentum from being on the outside, and it really worked for him.
Doran is up behind Balmanis and he goes Joker. I thought he might do that, so Liam didn't get the start he wanted. Sabo's gone with him, so the two guys, of course, in very similar 18 spec Audis. Timmy Hansen around the outside has got to do what Kevin didn't get, some lap times, not getting a fight. I'm really impressed with him. I thought when we rode on board with him, we might see him glance across into turn one. He's like, I'm going to have it.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, Sabo, contact! Sabo, contact with Shishrit. So Sabo's parked at the side of the road. Gulan Shishrit is not going to make the semi-final sense of that. Sabo, currently P6, is going to drop down the order. They're both still parked. Sabo's climbing out of the car. Sabo climbs out of the car, has a big, long look at Shishrit. He's, oh, come on, he says. There's dirt flying up. Sabo is not happy. We'll need to take a look back at that to figure out exactly what happened. Hansen around the outside of the dirt. Doran, look, super sideways to Balmanis has gone Joker to try and cover off Doran. I think he's going to get him. Liam, though, he's flat out. He'll break and try and go around the outside. He's going to look at the inside, is he? He can't get through, though. Balmanis in front of Doran. Doran peeks out into the mirrors.
Huge commitment there from Liam. Really sideways on the way into turn one.
Oh, he's having a look at the inside. Little nudge into the rear. Balmanis gives him a look now and have a look down the inside, surely into the standard lap. This is playing into Timmy Hansen's hands. He is way out front, 3.4 seconds clear. Markland continues to circulate. He's just passed underneath. Sorry, Shishri continues underneath that commentary position. Look at that shot. Brilliant.
Yeah, Liam really hanging out wide, but not able to get the car pointing in, hooked up, come the end of the corner like he has been. So not so good for him. Hansen, fastest lap of the day.
32.4. Hansen's on a mission. He knows he needs to be further up to keep that World Championship going at the pace it's been going tidily out the hairpin. Liam's dropped some time to Balmanis. We couldn't even see Liam's car thanks to the roost in the bank corner just a few seconds ago. You're on board with Timmy now, heading down through the Joker lap into, he needs to get near that apex. Target time of Markland is 2:16.7. It's a good time by Markland over the line. It's a great time by Hansen. 2:14.7 is the fastest time of the weekend from Timmy Hansen. So Timmy Hansen has thrown the gauntlet down to the guys in the final race. Gulan Shishrit coming round to take the finish. Shishrit, though, unfortunately, thanks to that incident with Sabo, isn't going to make it, unless, of course, Sabo's DNF drops him far enough down. So a DNF could cost Sabo, so we'll see. Timmy Hansen takes it from Janis Balmanis, Doran Shishrit and Sabo with a DNF, so that is going to have an effect on our top positions. Is somebody not going to make it suddenly? He was looking like they were likely on. Markland's right up there on timesheets. Balmanis too. Balmanis is having a great year. Liam Doran in fifth has done himself no harm either. So we've got one race left to go in qualifying to decide the order of our top 12 and who makes the cut. OK, we need to see that instant number between Sabo and Shishrit, but let's have a look at the start first of all. Balmanis gets a big old squeeze on Timmy, look. I say we rode on board, he didn't even look, Dan.
Yeah, so obviously Timmy helped there a bit by the other guys who were getting into each other and keeping himself out wide and carried that extra speed and just kept himself going around the outside.
Right, let's see if we can figure out towards the end of this lap. Doran goes Joker. Was it on lap 1 or was it 2? I can't remember. Sabo's gone in with him, so it must have been later. No. There's the contact. It's a nothing contact, really. Again, it's the jump, isn't it? You know, over the jump, can't steer in the air.
Yeah, exactly. Contact in the air, and they just tagged each other and, well, they were interlocked like we've seen previously and just managed to send themselves into the wall.
Surprised Sabo didn't get going.
Well, Timmy, that is how you respond to a disappointing Q2 and Q3. So much commitment from you on turn 1. Talk me through it.
Yeah, you know, I had to have a good result now. But, you know, it's been going well all weekend, but, you know, the racing has just not gone really my way. That's why we were really down in the overall. Finally now I could come out first, have a clean run. It was the first time for me this weekend. And well, I love this track. I love the racing here. It's just been hard on me, but this was a good revenge. And now I'm crossing my fingers that the time will be enough.
And fastest time for you as well. Well done, thank you.
Final race of qualifying here at Spa-Francorchamps. Q4, race 4. Andreas Packard on the inside is currently in the TQ seat. Kevin Hansen next to him has fought his way up to 4th. Ekstrom was 12th, he's now 8th. Is he going to get further up? Timur Zyanov looking 5th. Yoni Wieman in 3rd. An outstanding performance. Very much looking forward to this. There are 2 new boots on the front of Ekstrom's car. Full fight. Hansen. Timmy is currently the top time of this session. Can anyone beat him? He's hoping not, because he wants to move up the standings as much as possible. This is going to be fantastic. Here we go. Waiting for the noise. Here come the lights. Ekstrom's car squatted hard down in the middle of the grid. He's found fantastic speed off the line. Kevin Hansen's on the inside and backward too. Timazyanov makes a cutback. Ekstrom loses out in the dirt. He's super wide. Kevin as well. So Weeman goes through behind backward. And it's Timazyanov who gets into third place with Kevin Hansen up underneath him.
Yoni Weeman there making a really smart move. Coming from the outside, not quite getting the start. Backing himself up and just shooting it up the inside where everyone else had overshot.
Oh, straight into the joke lap for Timazyanov. And that was great, Dan, because he had space in front of him not to be held up on the brakes.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, you heard him slightly hesitate, but it wasn't enough to lose him too much time compared to if he was right up someone's bumper.
Brilliant job by Timazyanov. He now needs not to get held up. He gets out in front of Ekstrom, and Ekstrom hasn't jokered, so the Russian is on an absolute fly. Go on, Timmer. So big push from Timmer now backward at the front of the pack. I don't think he can lose his TQ spot here, really, as long as he doesn't make any silly mistakes. And, of course, that's the aim, isn't it? Just hold on.
No, of course. And with him out front leading the race, he's almost got a bit of control as well, so he can kind of drive how he wants to.
Kevin's gone joker. This is to protect himself from Timazyanov behind. Kevin Hansen on the inside in the yellow Peugeot. The yellow Hyundai coming around the outside. Timazyanov's got good pace here. Is he going to manage to get past Kevin? Kevin comes out over the jump and Timmer's got him. Timazyanov up to third.
So Kevin Hansen not quite getting Timazyanov, but getting in front of Ekstrom as well, who still hasn't jokered yet, so not seeing much pace from Ekstrom here.
So Timazyanov has done well with that early joker from P3, holds on to P3. Now he needs to hope these two guys are not going quickly enough to hold off. Backward to Timazyanov is 1.7. Backward goes joker. Timazyanov around the outside, according to our graphic. Backward will just about hold on, but it's going to be tight in between them. So Timazyanov on the gas. Let's see, is he going to make it or not? Backward comes out just in front of the Russian. The Russian looks inside him. Same move as yesterday. Timazyanov gets up the inside of Backward, but Backward surely has found a way back past, has he? Timmer's got him. Unbelievable. A repeat move from yesterday. Timazyanov is on fire.
Fantastic move there from Timazyanov. Really got this track hooked up, and he is so at one with his I-20.
I'm staggered at that. That is absolutely brilliant. Weeman goes joker. Timazyanov is aiming for 2:14.7, the time of Timmy Hansen. The top time currently in Q4. Weeman's trying to hook it up on the inside. I think Yoni Weeman's going to get this. He is, so Weeman takes it over the line. Timazyanov and Backward are side by side. Backward, no, Timazyanov's got him. Timazyanov's got him. It was super close. The timing screen hesitated, but he's got him by 1/10 of a second. But it is Weeman who takes the race, but a 2:17 is not fast enough. Incredible times then by Hansen and Markland to be at the top of the sheets, but what a drive from Timazyanov. If you're going to have a cheeky bet on someone making passes in the semis, it's got to be the Russian this weekend. Weeman takes it from Timazyanov, who battled his way past Backward, Kevin Hansen and Matthias Ekstrom. Weeman goes third, so Timmy Hansen wins Q4 with Markland in P2, and that is going to jumble up our timesheets massively. Sabo was up there, remember, in 6th place, but had a DNF. We'll bring you the standings after Q4 shortly. Wow, Timmer, for me, the key to this was the joker on lap 1 when he didn't have to hesitate.
Yeah, of course, and the fact that he's in a fast group of cars as well, so he knows he can go in the joker lap and still not lose too much time.
So have a look here, Timmer coming down the hill into, okay, it's just later in the race. So Timmer now in behind Kevin. Kevin went joker and Timmer, of course, manages to get him. Kevin comes out just behind. But it's this next merge. It's when Timmer comes out of the gravel section, so committed. Here's Backward, look at this. Epic. Just a tiny tag on the way in. Epic, epic pass. Timazyanov has done that twice this weekend. It's brilliant. Weeman on the inside kept it tidy. He got the job done, but it wasn't enough to beat the time of Timmy Hansen. It's a 1-2 for GRX in the final race of qualifying from Spa.
Well, Yoni, your second overall, cool, calm, collected. There was absolute carnage behind you, but you came through there. Joker on the final lap. Perfect tactics for you in this one?
Yeah, I mean, we had a tactic that if we don't get the start, I will try to back up and go on the inside. Played out really well, chasing Andreas for a couple of laps, then he went to Joker, and, you know, I gave it everything I had, and it was enough. I have to thank the team at this moment. We had a gearbox failure in Q3, and you know, they fixed it in half an hour, so really, really huge thank you to them.
Well, it's more than enough. Well done to you. Thank you.
Here are the standings then at Spa Rallycross of Benelux. Andreas Backrud is the TQ man, having won Q1 and Q3. Jonny Wieman up into P2. He takes pole in Semi-2 on a one-off outing. A stunning performance. Denies Liam Doran pole, but Liam will be on the front row with his teammate Backrud in Semi-1. Timmy Hansen is on the front row. What a recovery from Timmy. Timmy was down in P11 prior to this session and gets to 4th by winning Q4. Amazing job. Timazyanov is 5th. Markland, Kevin Hansen 7th. Baumanis is in 8th place. Who's made the cut? Scheider, Ekstrom, Szabo has made it, and Cyril Raymond. Schischrit, unfortunately, not able to capitalise on Szabo's retirement. So Szabo drops down, and the 2016 World Rallycross champion is in the mix as well. The semi-finals are going to be epic. Well, amazing action all weekend long, it has to be said. This track really has provided some brilliant opportunities to pass. Pretty decent viewing for the fans as well. I think the grandstands around the outside. There's standing areas too, right the way up through Eau Rouge, up to Radion, up at the top of the hill. And the best is yet to come, because, Dan, we're getting into semi-final time, and that's about positioning. You know, with all motorsports, it's hard to pass. We have the Joker lap, but this is somewhere where you can actually pass without the Joker lap, and we've seen it a lot.
Yeah, of course, coming off the back of qualifying, and, you know, we don't normally see overtaking in qualifying. It's normally people going for the times, but there's already the fight in people here. So really looking forward to seeing what happens when we've got an extra car on the grid, and they're really fighting for a position in the final.
Liam Doran down there, chatting away. Liam has had a 3rd place, of course. Good season for him. Timo Scheider, best place of 6th. What can he do here in Belgium? I guess they're all fancying their chances. Szabo in the background there, you can see. He's had a 4th. Kevin Hansen's had a win, and of course Timmy Hansen has as well. Can anyone stop the Hansen brothers taking another one? They've had to fight their way towards the front, but there are other people with the pace this weekend. So obviously a brand new track here, as I say, at Spa-Francorchamps. We've had a fantastic time. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching at home. It was a new build. 6 million euros was spent building this place, and it was officially opened on Friday. They had a ribbon-cutting ceremony. There it is. Belgian coloured ribbons, fantastic. We had a catch-up with Nathalie Maillet, the CEO of Spa-Francorchamps. Let's go and hear what she's got to say.
Natalie, this has been an absolutely brilliant round of World Rallycross. The best is yet to come as well. How pleased are you that you have opened the doors here at Spa-Francorchamps to World Rallycross?
Oh, well, it's just amazing. I mean, you know, you need to take risk. When I met you guys last year, we said, okay, we go for it. And I think it's a real success. I mean, as you know, at Spa-Francorchamps, we want to do things the right way. And I think we proved it today. And the fans, they love it. They're here. So they respond. And I think our potential is very big. I'm very pleased as well to have AMG as a partner, so we can grow together and present a good sport for the fan.
And there's so much going on off the track as well, a real festival feel. Tell us about that.
Yes, I mean, the Speed Machine Festival, that was something that seduced me when I talked with IMG. And I think we are reproducing the same. We had the Joker Speed Festival yesterday. Well, the weather was a bit cold. I mean, you know, Spa-Francorchamps, sometimes it's snowing, sometimes it's a lot of sun. We have a lot of activities, drift, track test at the moment, and it's really picking up. And I think, yeah, I mean, you know, the scale time, we built that track, it's only 3 months. We really started in January. Now we are just beginning of May, so I think our potential for next year is absolutely huge.
Thank you so much, and enjoy the semi-finals and finals.
I think we're pleased they've opened the doors to Rallycross as well. Not sure Eau Rouge is going to be quite flat out in a single seater for a little while. They're going to have to give it. I mean, they have cleaned it last night, but it requires a little bit more cleaning, I think.
Yeah, of course. And actually a friend of mine who races in. He currently races in Formula 2. He went testing in Barcelona a couple of years ago after we'd been there, and where we made the track really dirty, he said there was no grip whatsoever, so going to have a really deep clean for that Eau Rouge.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's one of the downsides of Rallycross going and using your tarmac, isn't it? Fans are ready, we are ready. 2 races coming up to decide who makes the final for round 3 of the FIA World Rallycross Championship. Don't go anywhere. I've got a feeling this is going to be good. Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium, the venue for round 3 of the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Championship. That's the famous view down to the famous F1 track. Circuit's been here about 100 years. The Rallycross track's been here 2 days. They built it, the final parts of it, on Thursday night because the track was in use. This gravel section, which has proved to be amazing, has been built over the last couple of months. It's got a wonderful banked gravel bend around the outside of the Joker lap. We've seen multiple lines, up and under passes, passing over the jump. I think we've seen contact on the jump about 10 times this week, and the fans have enjoyed it. We've enjoyed it. Semi-final time, we're going to have some brilliant racing. My name's Andrew Coley. Joining me in the commentary box is Dan Rook, Laura Winter reporting from the paddock and the pre-grid. Let's take a look at who's made the cut. If you've missed the rest of the action this weekend, you could have been watching live online on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you do next time. Andreas Backert has taken his first top qualifier spot of the year, winning 2 sessions. Jonny Wieman in P2, a fantastic performance. Niklas Gronholm not here this weekend due to an appendicitis. Wieman was supposed to be in a 3rd car, stepped up to the main team and has knocked it out of the park. Liam Doran P3, Timmy Hansen P4, had to fight to get there. Timoš Janov has overtaken. It's been epic. Look it up online if you haven't seen it. Markland 6th, Kevin Hansen 7th, Balmanis, Scheider. Ekstrom has made the cut on a one-off this year for the 2016 World Champion. Sabo and Cyril Raymond as well. So they then split into 2 semis. Odds go to semi-final 1, so it's the Monster Energy RX Cartel teammates of Backert and Doran on the front row in semi-1. Wieman versus Hansen in semi-final 2. Now, Laura's been down on the pre-grid, and Andreas Backert has already put in up to his grid slot. Managed to have a catch-up with him before he got into the car. So let's hear what Backert had to say about his first TQ this season.
Andreas, your first TQ in over a year. How much does this mean to you right now ahead of the semi-finals?
Obviously very, very much. It's been a long time, like you said, Portugal last year. So no, I'm all pumped in for the semi-final now. It's going to be awesome to stand next to my teammate Liam Doran. So it's going to be fun.
And we saw some quick times from Timmy Hansen in Q4. What are you expecting from him?
Well, I think definitely it's going to be a tough semi-final too with Johnny and Timmy, so I can't really affect that much. Hopefully see both of the guys in the final. I think we're up for a good fight.
And how much would it mean to you to win today?
It would mean the world. I know there's a big group of Backert Blue fans back home in Belgium watching it on the telly, also around the world. So yeah, it would mean a lot, both as a driver and also as a team principal. So this should be a lot of fun. Hopefully we get through, and it would be nice to spray some champagne at the end.
And a final word on the track here as well. The sun's shining now, the fans have come out in force. Yeah. How good is it to drive here?
It's pretty cool. I mean, a huge credit to Spa-Francorchamps for making this layout. I mean, like it is never easy to make and create a track in such a short period of time, and they have done it in style. I think this is a nice add to the calendar.
Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Semi-final 1 to decide the first 3 places is good to go. The drivers are down there on the grid. Those nerves will be about as high as they've been all weekend, because this is time to book a slot in the final. TQ on pole in semi-final 1, Andreas Backert. New boots all round, his teammate Liam Doran next to him. Row 2, Timoš Janov, who's passed Kevin Hansen and Andreas Backert on the run up into turn 1 during the qualifying stages. Great job by him. Kevin Hansen lines up next to him. And bringing up the rear of semi-final 1, Timo Scheider and Christian Sabo. So most people with new boots saved. How much of a difference is that going to make on their launch? It's still quite cold here at Spa, so we're not talking high temperatures, but new shoes, always good. Timo, look, eyes completely focused on the Marshall. Pulls the car into gear. He saw the thumbs up from the far side. Everybody else going through those same rituals. Orange light on, revs are up. Here we go, semi-final one. Great start, Timmer on row 2, backward a little bit tardy compared to Timmer. Timmer gets alongside, he's up the inside, Liam Doran. 3 cars wide, Kevin Hansen in the wall, Scheider in the back end, Sabo can't see. Gonna come through the dust cloud up the inside of Timmy. Kevin can't quite get through, and it's backward leading from Timmer's Yarnov. Doran goes deep on the brakes, trying to go around the outside of the Russian. Kevin's up the inside. Kevin Hansen alongside Liam Doran. Doran surely has to say standard lap. Kevin might follow him. Will he go Joker instead? No, Doran goes Joker. So Doran's gone Joker on lap 1. In the background there, contact between Scheider and Sabo. Sabo drops down to P6. Backward leads from Timmer's Yarnov.
What a mental start there. Really fantastic stuff here for the start of the semi-final. I've just noticed, that there's some smoke coming off the back of Kevin's car from contact in turn 1, so maybe something to keep an eye out for.
Sabo trying so hard to try and get past. You can see the dust flying up in turn 1. He's trying to get past Scheider, but he can't. Doran's joking earlier. I actually think that could be a good move, but what do you think the difference is down at the minute? It's hard to tell. I know the track's changing all the while.
Yeah, no, of course, we don't know. I mean, we worked out earlier there was maybe roughly 2 seconds, but it is constantly changing, and because there's so many different line variables in this final corner.
And Timmer demonstrating that. Look at that onboard. He's so tight in the wall. Timmer's Yarnov's got great pace this weekend.
Yeah, he's really on it. We've seen a fantastic performance from him through the races here, and he's all over the back of Andreas Backerud.
Absolutely up under the rear wing of the Norwegian. Fastest lap of the day goes to Backerud, but Timmer's Yarnov almost having a look up the inside. He's on the handbrake. He's alongside Backerud. So Timmer's Yarnov is absolutely flying. Could we see the first World Championship win for the Russian here this weekend at Spa? Backerud sideways on the exit. Timmer underneath. Here we go. Watch this again. Chucks it in sideways, trying to find the grip. Timmer's Yarnov looking for it. He's almost alongside Backerud again. Can't quite do it. It's been this jump exit that he passed when people have come out of the joker lap. But Timmer, with a nudge in the back of Backerud, he's letting him know he's there.
Guys, super late on the brakes into turn 1, and he has really given the fight to him. He is waiting now for his opportunity to dive in the joker and to try and get back in front. He's a little tap there in the hairpin, pushed Backerud a little bit wide. Could he be going for the joker lap this time? It depends on the gap behind to Liam.
He's let him know twice. The trouble is, if Timmer goes joker now, he knows he's going to have to brake to avoid Backerud. So Kevin, as you say, still with a bit of smoke. Sabo goes joker. That's not going to match from P6, unfortunately for him. This, for me, is about Timmer and Andreas, and kind of Andreas is in the box seat because he knows if Timmer wants to go, then he's going to have to brake to get into the joker before.
Yeah, exactly. So this kind of plays in Andreas' hands. That it means that Timmer Yarnov will lose a good 2 tenths to Andreas if he has to brake to get in the joker. So
clips the wall on the inside. Doran at the minute is coming up in front of Kevin Hansen, but that's pretty close as well. He goes this time. Timmer's Yarnov into the joker lap. So looking behind for Doran, who's joking already. Liam Doran coming around the outside. Timmer's Yarnov's got to nail this. He's on the handbrake early. Going to hook the wheels up. Liam Doran is fully lit around the outside. Timmer's Yarnov's going to chuck it out across in front of Kevin. Kevin's going to try and pass in the way the Russian passed him earlier this weekend, but he can't. Timmer holds on to that inside line, so Timmer is in front of Kevin Hansen.
Awesome job there by the GRX boys, getting Timmer Yarnov in and out before Kevin Hansen could get in the way of him and potentially slow him up. So
yeah, Kevin hasn't joked either, so this is fantastic news for Timmer. It's about Backerud versus Timmer's Yarnov now. This is for the front row in the final. The Russian's been on mega form all weekend long. He runs a little bit deep, potentially for me. I think he's not going to find the traction. He's got extra speed on Backerud. Backerud up towards the line. He takes it from Timmer's Yarnov. Oh, side by side, who got it? Doran! Doran got it! Doran got it by a 1/10 of a second. It was side by side for Doran, and Kevin Hansen, and Liam has taken a place in the final with his teammate Backerud. What a semi-final.
Fantastic stuff there, and it just goes to show contact on the jump once again this weekend.
Seen it more than anywhere. Wow, what a semi-final one. Backerud takes the win, but Timmer's Yarnov looked faster to me, but there was nothing he could do to get through. So Backerud takes the win then from Timmer. Liam Doran taking the final spot in the final by a 1/10 of a second. Kevin Hansen, Timo Scheider and Christian Sabo are out. So Kevin Hansen, who's been on the podium at both rounds so far, the World Championship leader, doesn't make the final here. His car currently sitting in the middle of the track. End of the race, so he got his result. So this was the start. Have a look for Timmer, because he got an amazing start, and he got up in between Liam and Backerud. Kevin actually got a nudge in the wall there on the inside, but somehow managed to hold on to people. That'd be where the smoke was from. but Timmer was so fast down, but because of that Joker entry, he couldn't capitalise on it.
Yeah, exactly. It was all over the back of him. I mean, I've been looking at the lap times here, and they were identical lap times pretty much every single lap. 32.9s, 33.0s. It's just matching each other.
Oh, this is just... I know how many... I know there are so many backward fans out there, I know that, but I know there's a lot of people as well that wouldn't mind seeing Timmer take a win, particularly after the driving that Timmer has done this weekend, where he's managed to make the passes. So this was where he came out just in front of Kevin. Backward went for the Joker on the last lap. Could Timmer have been any tighter on this line? Would it have given him the difference?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him in the previous laps hugging the wall with his front end, so potentially could have given him that little bit extra to just gap backward.
Doran just getting a place in the semi. So there's Kevin's car being picked up after that. Obviously he's fine because it was GA waste to the crowd. Good lad, Kevin. Pretty confident he'll still lead the World Championship after this. His brother was a fair way back, and of course Niklas isn't here this weekend. But a fantastic first semi-final. Timmer couldn't get the pass done. We've got another 6 cars fighting for another 3 places coming up next. Once that car's out of the way, they'll start loading the cars into the grid. Great stuff. I'm a bit annoyed that Timmer couldn't find a way to do it, but of course backwards guys have been very clever there, because they've said, look, if you hold the lead and the guy behind you, he can't gain on you because of the fact you have to brake before to take the standard lap in the Joker.
Yeah, of course, and of course from the last lap as well, it is quicker to Joker on the last lap because of that shorter run to the line.
So take a look at this on board with Timmer, and it'll give you a good idea of what it's like being a supercar driver in a World Championship semi-final. So that's what I mean about what a brilliant start he got, and he gets right up in between the two of them. I mean, backwards barely got enough room on the inside. Timmer knows at that point he's claimed P2, but would be worried about the inside, shuts the door, and all is good. And then this is the view he had, basically, for 5 laps until he went for the Joker. And it's this bit here, Dan. Explain why you can't get out when you want to get out when you're underneath someone's rear wing.
So here we're going to see the guys go off onto the standard lap here, and they're braking in a straight line, but they're also braking right out by the wall. So if you wanted to dart off into the Joker lap, you wouldn't be able to carry that extra momentum because your straight is going to be that little bit longer, and braking that little bit later, you won't be able to carry the speed.
Now, Timmer threw that corner there on the gravel that time. To me, that's the line I wanted to see him take on the last lap. But of course, when you're desperate to take the position, you go the 0.5 later on the brakes and you run the car a bit too deep. We're going to see the last lap, actually. So let's take a look at the last lap, and we'll see Timmer whether he runs a little bit too deep, and you can let us know what you think. So this was it. So backward is yet to Joker. Timmer with Kevin up underneath his rear wing. So Timmer comes down the hill. So backward, you're going to see go straight in, and Timmer start chasing. So this is the point which, you know, I've got to get him, I've got to get him, I've got to get him, and you can see he's pushing hard.
Yeah, exactly. So from here, I don't think he's rotated the car early enough. He's come in and run it too deep, and then that's meant he's got out on the really, really loose gravel on the outside and not able to get as much of a drive out of the corner.
Oh, and there's the contact between Liam and Kevin. So it was just a tiny little nudge, wasn't it? And we're going to see the last corner one more time. And this was, okay, yes, contact again, the trajectory of those two cars. We got that from another angle too. Here's backward and Timmer, and then over the line. So Kevin's coming out there as he's trying to cover off Liam on the exit, and he's given him enough space to be fair, and then they both bounced off the wall. And yeah, great stuff. Absolutely brilliant from semi-final number 1. Timozyanov then unable to capitalise on the extra speed that I feel he had. I think Timmer's got the pace to win this event. His teammate, Jonny Wieman, is coming up in semi-final number 2. What can he do? Could he beat Timmy Hansen down to turn 1? So semi-final 1 was pretty epic by World Championship standards, and we've got another one coming up for you too. We saw some fantastic fights. Timozyanov was so quick in that first race in the GRX machine. We've got another GRX machine on pole in this one. Jonny Wieman on only his second outing in the World Rallycross Championship, and I think he said his second competitive outing down in about 2.5 years. I mean, you know, what a performance by him.
Yeah, of course. And, well, I mean, he's no stranger to the paddock. I know he's been working with the GRX boys as a mechanic and a spotter, but to be back in a car, and especially at this high level...
That's what I was going to say, at this level, you know, it's like, you know, disappearing off from the World Championship of any sport for 2 years, then coming back and killing it. I mean, it's amazing, particularly motorsport, where you don't get the practice when you're away from the sport. It's not like he's been off being a gymnast but not competing. You know, you don't drive supercars, but you're not driving supercars.
No, exactly. It's so hard to find locations to test, and the money involved as well. So I'm not sure what sort of testing he had, but must have been very little.
Ekstrom pulls up to the line, the number 40 on the car, because he is 40 years old. And the final car joins the back of the lineup. Here we go then. Here's the lineup for semi-final number 2 from Spa-Francorchamps. On the pole, Jonny Wiemann. Next to him, Timmy Hansen, who's fought hard to make it to this point. No new boots for them. Are they saving them for the final, or have they not got any left? Anton Marken, 4 new tyres for him. Anton's looked quicker as the weekend's gone on. Baumanis has been one of only a couple of drivers to make the final at both rounds. And then Matthias Ekstrom and Cyril Raymond at the rear. Ekstrom with 4 new tyres. Tactics of a world champion. That's Timmy Hansen you're on board with. You can hear him shouting, getting himself good to go. Wiemann across to his left. We saw what an amazing start Timmer got. He will have passed that data back to Wiemann. The difference being this time, of course, Timmer was on row 2. Wiemann is on the pole. So he could hold on to this, but Hansen had the fastest time of the weekend in Q4. He looked unstoppable. Can he use that pace to take the win? Green light, great start by Hansen and Wiemann. Hansen's going to move across, try and shut the door. Wiemann, Baumanis shuts the door immediately. Ekstrom having a P4 contact between them. Timmy Hansen and Ekstrom off touching the wall. So Hansen drops back into P5. Ekstrom, I think, ended up in the tyres. He is still going. So Ekstrom still going in the background. Timmy Hansen around the outside of Anton Marken. Marken going to shut the door. Timmy now, what does he do down? He's got to go Joker, surely. And Anton really should keep that door shut so he can't capitalise on it.
Yeah, so
Anton's gone.
So yeah, Markland into the Joker. That's released Timmy a little bit, but still he's got so many places to make up. He's going to have the drive of his life here.
So Timmy Hansen needs a big old fight back. He's had a big old fight back before in a semi-final in Belgium. We're back at Mete. He made passes left, right and centre to get the job done. He needs to do that again here at Spa-Francorchamps. So Hansen on a big push. Markland behind him is Joker, and Ekstrom has gone too. But Wiemann is leading. He's got away from them. Baumanis wants to make it up into the final as well. Say Baumanis, I think he's one of only 2 drivers. Well, there were 3 who'd made every final. Baumanis, Gronom and Kevin Hansen. Of course, Gronom's not here, so Baumanis will want that slot. We see a run wide in the background, so it's that's Timmy and Markland. Markland having Joker, he's right up underneath Timmy Hansen already. Coming out from the Joker lap now, Cyril Raymond. Inside Markland, he's got him. So Cyril Raymond has got past Markland, they're all underneath Hansen. So Hansen, if he Jokers now, is going to lose a couple of places.
Yeah, I mean, we're not seeing the pace from Hansen. Maybe some damage from that turn 1 contact. Obviously, we saw him touch the barriers here. So,
or tyres potentially? I mean, could new tyres make that much difference?
I'm not too sure. Obviously, we don't know how abrasive this track is. But there's a lot of sideways, so it would suggest that it is.
Ekstrom down in P6, sideways, look at that shot, absolutely brilliant. The dirt berm here at Spa has been a huge success. I'd love to see it at more rallycross tracks. Cyril Raymond is hoping to book another slot in a final. Baumanis is 1.5 behind Wiemann, so Wiemann is gapping them now. Wiemann is 1.5 seconds ahead of Baumanis. Timmy Hansen 2.3 back. Timmy, though's got a little gap here. I wonder if he should Joker because Cyril Raymond is holding up. And Baumanis has gone Joker, so Baumanis goes Joker. That's to avoid the train behind. Here we go, then Yanis Baumanis hoping to hold on to his position and make it through there. He's going to easily. I think Baumanis has got this. Markland and Raymond. Look, Markland is inside. Cyril Raymond in the background over the jump, out through the dirt. So Baumanis holds on, so it's just Wiemann and Hansen to Joker.
Yeah, so Wiemann's, look, their fastest lap of the day for Jonny Wiemann, so fantastic pace from that I-20. We knew Timojanov was fast, and Jonny Wiemann's proving it.
We might have a battle of the teammates at this rate. Timmy Hansen is going standard lap again. Baumanis is almost onto the back of him, so Timmy I don't think is going to make the final either. We've seen the Peugeot has been the pace setter at the previous 2 events. Of course, Timmy having that accident in Abu Dhabi, meaning he didn't make the final, but he destroyed everyone in Barcelona, and to be fair, he destroyed everyone in Q4 here. But he's not going to do that this time, and I don't think we're going to see the 2016 champion in there either. So there he goes, 32-1, he responds.
Yeah, fantastic effort, but is it too late? We're coming on to, we're up to the final lap now, so we're going to see him into the Joker lap.
Weeman goes in, Hansen will go into this then for the spots in the final. Weeman has just nailed this semi-final and is going to go through to the front row, barring any issues in the last corner. Baumanis around the outside, Timmy Hansen goes super rotation. Is he going to hold on from there? This is an epic couple of laps if he does. Weeman goes through and Hansen does. Timmy Hansen somehow, with a couple of amazing final laps, has booked a spot on the back row of the final. But Jonny Weeman, on a one-off outing for GRX, has won semi-final 2. Baumanis goes through as well. Fantastic driving from the young Finn. Weeman takes it then from Yannis Baumanis and Timmy Hansen. Markland, Cyril Raymond and Matthias Ekstrom take no further part this weekend. Take a look at the start then. So Weeman and Hansen were very even up into turn 1. You can see on board with Hansen, it looks like he's in the front. Then there's a little clip from Baumanis, that puts him almost in the wall, doesn't it? And behind him, Ekstrom was more in the wall. How did he get back from there?
I mean, I've got no idea. We know how fast he was, though. He proved himself in Q4 and managing to keep himself away from traffic, trying to go around the outside of Markland there in the hairpin in the first corner, and then Markland going to the Joker to release him a little bit. But some really impressive pace from Timmy, coming in with the fastest lap of the day.
I didn't think he was going to get it done either, because when you see the Joker lap at the end, he backs it into the wall. He literally backed it into the wall, but for whatever reason, the 3 cars that were right underneath his rear wing, you know, he did that fastest lap of the day, the lap before. You can imagine Kenneth, can't you, on the radio going, push, push, push. So he did it. This was where Timmy came into the Joker, ran the car just a little bit too wide. Baumanis managed to get him, but Weeman was miles in front.
Jonny, fast becoming the revelation of this rallycross round here. You've come in with just 1 start previously. You've now won your semi-final. All to play for in the final?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have the outside. It's not the best place to be, but I'll do what I can, and you know, I'm already super happy for being in the final and front row. And the car feels really good, so you know, I'm gonna give it everything in the final.
Thank you so much. Well done to you. Good luck.
An incredible performance from Jonny Weeman to make it through to the final. Him and Timos Yarnov have looked to me like they've got extra pace over both the Audis and the Peugeots. We know the Hyundai's been threatening. Gronholm, of course, has been right up there as well. So, as Laura said, it is all to play for in the final round 3 of the World Rallycross Championship. There's the view down towards the bottom of this fantastic new Rallycross track. We have the RX2 final coming up for you when in just a few minutes' time. This is what happened in the semi-finals. So down at turn 1, a little bit of contact as normal. Gryazin in the red car on the outside here. Watch for Michalak. So Gryazin gets fully squeezed here and can't find a way through. And Dan really, I don't know really, you know, Michalak would have known he's there, but Gryazin could also have backed out of it. Who do you blame?
I mean, to me, I think Michalak kind of dropped himself in his own, you know, fortune there. I think he should have given him a little bit of room. It wouldn't have made any odds because he would have then been on the inside for the hairpin. So giving him that little bit of space and respect would have just saved himself from going around. So
Michalak went around. Unfortunately, you can see Mounier there heading up towards the top of the hill. But it was Kallio, the man out front, who was doing an absolutely stunning job. Has been doing a brilliant job all weekend. He took the TQ, Kallio, won 2 sessions and was second in the other 2. So Kallio taking his position in the final from semi-final number 1 from the pole. On to semi-2, Oliver Eriksson. And then you can see as well the Jamaican alongside him, Fraser McConnell, Simon Olofsson in the yellow car behind William Nilsson, getting the cutback underneath. Eriksson out front, locked wheels up into turn 1, nothing too silly. A little bit of contact on the back of Nilsson, but if anything, that helped face him in the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. Gave him a little boost around the corner. So done a good job to weave himself around in the traffic there in lap 1, and he came through and got himself a good result come the end of the race.
Volders in a fight towards the rear. This is Walfredson and Olofsson side by side through the long right-hander coming out in front of Volders. Eriksson with his teammate Fraser McConnell. McConnell with that great move he made last time out in Barcelona. McConnell hasn't had quite the killer speed so far here, but I've spoken to him a few times. He's happy enough, you know, he's learning all these circuits. He hasn't had as much time in the cars as the other guys. This is a new circuit for everyone, but still, Eriksson and McConnell going through to the final from the front. And, you know, what can McConnell do? Because he produced his best performance in Barcelona. For me, Fraser got better and better through the course of the weekend. And then when he was behind his teammate, you know, just got it done.
Yeah, exactly. So Ollie Eriksson there dragging McConnell along, and Ollie is such an experienced driver for Fraser to be learning from, so I'm sure he's going to be happy to be hanging on the back of him.
They share a lot of data in that team. I've seen all 4 or 5 drivers sitting together watching a laptop and all talking about it, so it's a very inclusive atmosphere down at OMSE. That means everybody can learn from each other. So gloves off, of course, for the final. The RX2 International Series presented by Cooper Tyres is here at Spa-Francorchamps for their round 2. We've got 6 of the very best RX2 drivers lined up on the grid to do battle down into turn 1. So here we go. Looking at the grid, you can see on the front row the champion, Oliver Eriksson, but he's outside Jesse Kallio. Kallio, who was the TQ man here and won his semi-final. Eriksson, of course, winning his 2. Some brilliant drivers in this. We saw spectacular racing in Barcelona. Hopefully we'll see the same again here. Kallio then from Eriksson on the front row, both running for Olsberg's MSE. Ben Philip Gunderson from JC Race Technique and Fraser McConnell, also Olsberg's MSE. And on the back row, Sami Matti Trogan and William Nilsson. Trogan with Set Promotion, Nilsson with JC Race Technique. So familiar team names at the front. These guys are the experts in running these cars. Some sort of mascot down there on the grid. There he is, yes. Right, leaves the grid. Someone holding his hand so he doesn't fall over. Don't want to get run over by an RX2 car. Completely different start for these guys. Of course, it's going to be maximum RPM. Yesterday they were having wheel spin. They won't be having quite so much of that today. They're going to have to get that level of clutch just right. We'll get Dan to talk us through it in a minute once we see if anyone gets a good or a bad start. Inside is definitely the preference here at Spa. Kallio away from the line nicely, but I think Oliver Eriksson might have edged him slightly. No, they're side by side, so Eriksson, though, just goes into turn 1, carries the speed through and into the exit. Fraser McConnell runs the bumper down the wall, maybe loses a slot. Nilsson has dropped down into P6, but it's Eriksson, Kallio, and then Gunderson and Trogan in a train down the hill. So who's going to go Joker on this first lap? I might be tempted. If someone doesn't go in front and I was one of the rear 2 cars, I'd be in there straight away. And McConnell goes instantly. So Fraser McConnell's gone Joker on lap 1. I think it's a very wise move.
Yeah, certainly a good move. Running out too wide there on the first lap, so now giving themselves some clear air. And these guys are in a train. You can see the dust we can see as well. So these guys are going to have their visibility affected, and they can only brake when the car in front of them brakes. So that then gives Fraser a chance to try and gap up onto the back of them.
So Fraser is already in the back of Nilsson, and Nilsson needs to either joker or get his toe in if they want to have any impact on the front runners. Eriksson, current champion and winner, of course, in Spain from McConnell and Kallio. So our top 3 in the championship are in here in this final, and Nilsson hasn't gone. So Trogan has gone, and that's to try and protect himself from McConnell. And he does indeed come out in front. So Sami Matti Trogan in the background coming out in front, whereas Eriksson and Kallio continue to do fat battle, just 0.5 in it. Kallio's maybe far enough back to take a risk and go early Joker here.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, he hopefully won't then lose out on the braking of into the corner here we're just looking at. So,
and in fact, Gunderson does it, and you see, Gunderson has enough of a gap not to have to check up at all.
Yeah, so the car in front of him has already braked and turned into the corner before he's got to the point where he's wanting to hit the brakes. So easy to get himself in.
Out of the merge, Gunderson comes out in front of Sami Matti Trogan, so he's just got to keep it on the straight and narrow through turn 1. Now it's a case of getting those laps in and seeing whether or not you can close it down to Eriksson and Kallio. So do you think Eriksson and Kallio will respond here or wait until the end?
I think we're going to see them going at different times. I'd imagine we're going to see Kallio going on lap 5, Eriksson on lap 6, because they both got good pace. And it doesn't seem like they're being troubled by guys behind them, so they're going to be just running together and, bringing home a good result for the team.
If I was Kallio, I'd kind of fancy 2 laps to try and take some time out of Eriksson, but then if he went a lap early, I guess Eriksson could just respond and go the lap later anyway.
Yeah, so obviously the team's going to be working together because they're, both
with
the same team, so
How does that work though when your teammates with someone that you want to beat? You know, there's a point at which you go, well, I don't care about the team tactics, I want to beat it.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a team manager. I don't have to answer that question.
Just a driver. Just a driver, not too fast. Well, that's how they've done it. You were bang on the money. Kallio goes Joker 5. So this is the time then for Kallio to make the difference. Can he get in an absolutely killer lap? Fraser McConnell down in P6, really needed Nilsson to go earlier, but Nilsson isn't going to go until the last lap. At the minute, Ericsson leads from Kallio. The gap is 1.6 seconds as they blast up the hill for the last time here at Spa into that hairpin. Ericsson will know that Kallio's on a mission. Kallio's been super quick all weekend. He's edged him in the 2 sessions, 3 sessions in fact, he's beaten him in. Ericsson just taking Q3 into the Joker lap. Here we go then. Kallio on the outside, looking for that win in RX2, a first win in RX2, but Ericsson on the inside, going to be very careful on that throttle. Extra speed along the right line around the outside, but Ericsson takes it over the jump. So Ollie Ericsson makes it 2 wins from 2. Kallio going a step further up on the podium to take P2 here. And Ben-Philip Gundersen, of course, didn't make the semis after an incredible job in Spain. Gundersen showing the pace that he has in this series by coming P3 here in Belgium. Ericsson takes round 2 then of RX2 from Kallio and Gundersen. Trogan is 4th, McConnell 5th, and William Nilsson in 6th. Off the line, down towards turn 1. It was a pretty even start. I mean, Ericsson there, is that we've been saying the inside line's better, but I suppose only if you get a good start. But did Ericsson edge him off the start?
Yeah, I mean, I think those guys were fairly even. I think Ericsson just came in with a super bold move and had faith from his teammate on the inside to not take him out. So just swinging it around the outside and making it stick.
A bit like Timmy Hansen in the qualifying session earlier today. You just take the momentum and just go for it. I guess it goes one of 2 ways, doesn't it? You either get tagged and put in the wall, or you take the whole shot.
When you're on the outside line, you don't tend to have much of an option other to try and just send it. So, yeah, good job there by Ericsson to manage to get himself through.
Was indeed. Taking the lead early doors. Kallio then just had the 1 lap to try and make up the time. And he couldn't, so great drive, Ericsson, 2 wins. We'll be able to find out what damage he's done on the points as well. So he led by 4 points from McConnell coming here. And he now leads by 9 points from Kallio. So Kallio is 9 points off, but moves up to P2 in the standings, knocking McConnell down into 3rd. So Sami Matti, Trogan, Greisen, Gundersen, Mounier and Olofsson, but this is round 2, and of course they're heading to the UK, Norway, Sweden, France and South Africa. So this season will finish down in Cape Town later on this year. Will it be settled by then? They might just be able to go and have some fun, or is their fight going to go right down to the last round? It's looking pretty close to me between Kallio and Ericsson, so we'll see. Well, we've got 1 more race to go from the legendary Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Who's going to win the final of round 3? Cars are in the pre-grid and good to go. Dan Rook, this is nerves time, isn't it?
Yes, super nervous for these guys, of course, and I'd imagine there's going to certainly be some guys here feeling the pressure. Andreas sitting on his first pole position for a final for a while now, and of course Joni Wieman coming in and is a one-off race and sticking it on the front row.
Yeah, Wieman is someone who's got tons of budget, we know that, but he's certainly got, he's got the seat this time round, and taking a win here would be a massive calling card. Well, we've got someone else who's got quite a good calling card down on the grid, in fact. You know Matthias Ekstrom's been competing this weekend, but we've got a double World Rallycross champion here with us too. Petter Solberg is with Laura now.
Well, Petter, I've just seen you giving Andreas and Liam a few words. Rumour is that you're here helping them. What exactly is your role?
First of all, it's been planned for a little while to, the last 1 week from Monster to come and help Liam and Bakru to try to make just things better, more stable for driving, lines, strategies and stuff. And I think they've done a fantastic job. Both have a good car control, but of course I'm very happy that both are in the final and it's gone well. And we just have to be smart and think, the strategy through the whole weekend, as we did in our team. So It's great to see. I'm pleased, and it's been good fun to come back to a race and a lot of gravel, action, jumping. You know, all the things that I've been missing a little bit. So I really like to drive this track, to be honest with you.
I was going to ask you that. You've got the Eau Rouge just round the corner. Are you itching to get back in a car?
When you can go flat out into this gravel part, you know, I think it's great. And for spectators, you know, you can overshoot and you can pass on inside, outside, and I think it's great.
And following your announcement from competitive retirement, there was an outpouring of love, of affection, of support for you. How much did that mean?
Well, it's a lot of situation that comes. You know, I was very sick last year, and it was a tough year. We come through it very well, and I will do a lot of activities in the future, but not in a full championship with things. And my son is growing up very quickly now and driving a lot, and I want to follow him as much as I can also, to try to be a good father, the best possible. But the thing is, it's about enjoying life, and I got the same feeling when I worked with Johan, you know, for 2 years, that when other people wins, I can still get the happiness and joy for it, you know. So hopefully maybe running a team in the future and make other world champions, that's my next dream.
Handing the baton on. And finally, one quick question. Obviously, you've got Andreas, you've got Liam here. Who do you think will win this final?
You know, Andreas is a fantastic driver, and you know, you have also Wiman. He's coming in very, very quick speed here. You had Hansen taking the fastest lap time of the weekend also now, so he's on it. But if Bakkerud just keep calm, focus, and just do the same thing and not try to make any hero things, you know, I think he is in a good possibility to win. But you know, first corner with all these guys in the background, you know, everything can happen. So cross our fingers, it will be a clean, good, and full action run.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So good to see Petter Solberg back at a World Rallycross Championship event. Yeah, Petter didn't mention Timmer there, did he? And with the passes Timmer's been making, the form he's been in, Dan, he'd be on my list of potential winners, definitely.
Yeah, of course. And because of his performance through the whole weekend, wouldn't it be good to see him rewarded with a win?
Oh, massively. I know it would. He hasn't won since we've been a World Championship. He didn't actually win in 2013. His last year had taken a European Supercar title. Took the title without a win. He's in that same grid slot he was in. I suspect Wiman will shut the door on him before turn one, because he'll have seen what he did from that grid slot last time out. Petter, I love the fact Petter was just like, yeah, Eau Rouge is cool, but I just want to go flat out into the gravel sections. I want to send it. So, yeah, we'll see what Petter does, won't we, for the rest of the time. There's Timmy, look, giving a wave, a thumbs up, and a number one. That's what he wants. He wants the win. Going to tighten those belts and get himself ready. Waving his pre-drink about. Hot and dusty down there. Passes it out of the car. No extra weight in the car, Dan. Chuck everything out of the car now.
Yeah, of course. And these cars are run on such a fine line. I think, you know, they try and get them down to within like 1 or 2 kilos of the minimum weight. So
yes, that's what we like. Bit of geekery. There's the Drivers Club at Eau Rouge. It's quite nice. I might see if my Access All Areas pass gets me in there. I doubt it somehow. I think that's one of those areas that's not included, I suspect. Andreas Bakkerud took the TQ. He won his semi-final under immense pressure from Timur Zhyanov, and he fires the car up to the grid. Jonny Wiman is going to join him on the front row. Wiman was P2 in qualifying. He won his semi-final. He's threatened all weekend. So we're hearing that Bakkerud is on new tyres and the others are on old boots. So there we go. Bakkerud has saved something for the final. And that might just make the difference. We said, didn't we, could it be tyres in the semi-final? Could that make the difference to the pace? It could. Maybe. We'll find out. Timmer and Baumanis. Now, I said earlier, Kevin Hansen, Niklas Gronholm and Yannis Baumanis had made both the finals. Well, Niklas isn't here, Kevin hasn't made it. So Yannis Baumanis is the only driver to have made all 3 finals this year. That, for me, is a big step up in not just performance, Dan, but consistency with it. And that's even harder to come by.
Yeah, that's an impressive stat. And especially these guys coming in with a new car this year, a new Evolution. It's very promising for the start team.
Well done to Yannis. There's a few Latvian flags up in the stands. Timmy takes a look across at Liam Doran. British bomb, of course, won a session. He won Q2 here. He was 6th and 7th, 10th in Q4, so not quite so good for Doran then. But you can't count him out. He loves this track, he's been sending it, and that's something that Liam does very well indeed. Timmy pulling up to the outside. I would expect Timmy to make a cut-back move from outside to inside. He'll try on the run up to the first corner, but this is going to squash up, and it's going to be mega. Here we go then, here is the grid for the final of round 3 of the 2019 FIA World Rallycross Championship. TQ man Andreas Bakkerud on new boots, on pole. Can he take his first win of the season and move up those driver standings? Jonny Weeman with a brilliant performance so far this weekend, a one-off. We might see him more if he carries on like this. Timo Timozianov has been outrageous with his passing. Can he get it done here and get onto that top step of the podium for the first time ever? Same for Baumanis. Could he get a debut win in the World Championship Series? Doran, he's been on the podium now. He'd love to get a win. Timmy Hansen, of course, has 6 wins to his name. So either end of the grid, Bakkerud and Hansen with 6 wins each. Everybody else would be looking for a first one ever. Cannot wait. You can see the teams in the background. They're all standing down there, ready to go, willing the drivers into the first corner. The marshal gives the thumbs up. We're about to launch 6 cars down. We know they don't go into 1. Is anyone going to lose out in turn 1? We're ready to race. Green light, good start. Timozianov road 2 again. Bakkerud hooked it up as well. Baumanis moves across the inside. Weeman's going to try and go around the outside. Weeman in the wall. Jonny Weeman's in the wall. Timmy Hansen gets in the side of him. Doran's up at a P4. So Weeman's gone backwards. Oh, Doran has something broken on the car because Doran just goes super deep up into the hairpin. So Liam's got broken car. We've got, and it's Timozianov. Timozianov leads from Bakkerud.
Yeah, Timozianov there going for the same sort of gap he went for in the semi-final. Andreas and Jonny Weeman running wide, and he was just able to nip up the inside, and he's taken full advantage.
Absolutely brilliant by Timozianov, leading then from Bakkerud. And we've got a problem then for Doran, potentially stuck up in the hairpin. Baumanis and Weeman, of course, had an issue too. Timmy Hansen still circulating. Liam is going round, we can see from the commentary position, but this is going to come down to these 2 guys at the front. Bakkerud's on new tyres. Dan, what the hell do you do now when you've lost out at the start? What do you do about your Joker tactics?
I mean, obviously now we've got the 2 guys like Timmy Hansen and Liam Doran have dropped back now, so there's not so much traffic to potentially get caught up in, but Bakkerud, he's not being held up here. Timozianov is starting to pull a gap.
Timozianov looking absolutely fantastic. Need to watch out, of course, for Timmy Hansen in the background. 5.2 back. Timmy went for an early Joker. Baumanis has 2, but Baumanis has come out in front of Timmy. So Timmy losing out in the first corner. Doran the biggest loser, I think, there. Timozianov on board with the Russian down the hill now. Listen to this. Dan Rook said it earlier this weekend, feeding the car gears. He turns it and he's got to keep a level head in, not let the car run too wide and make no mistakes, because Bakkerud will capitalise if he does.
Of course he will, and Timozianov there hugging the wall super tight.
Oh,
really
Hansen's got past Baumanis. Sorry, Dan, Hansen's got past Baumanis, but Baumanis gets back past him again. The gravel corner strikes again. Timmy Hansen with a moment on the exit has lost potentially a second there, so I think he's out of this one. Sliding it through there into turn 1, back down. Rouge and Radion coming up for him, but where's Timozianov out front? And how far back is Bakkerud? So Timozianov got a 1.2 second lead over Bakkerud. Can he do it here in Spa-Francorchamps? Into the Joker lap in the background. It's Weeman has gone in, so Weeman's gone in trying to protect his position. Jonny Weeman lost the start, big gutting for him.
Yeah, disappointing for him, and just running wide and then allowing his teammate Timozianov to come through and really capitalising on that, pulling such a strong gap now. The Joker tactic is now wide open for Andreas and Timozianov. Everyone behind them is jokered, so they're not going to be worried about getting caught up in traffic. If I was EKS and Monster and Giants Cartel, I'd send Bakkerud in now.
Bakkerud has to go now because it's going to be his only chance to take the win. He does. Andreas Bakkerud goes Joker. It's got to be perfect, but so's Timmer's on the last lap. This is going to come down to a drag race to the finish line. Timmer keeping it tidy on the inside. It's a great one from Timmer. Weeman's going to come round super tight in behind Bakkerud, so Bakkerud holds on to P2, and we're down to the last lap.
Yeah, Timozianov just has to keep his head now. He's been driving really sensibly all final, putting in the lap times. He just needs to be super smooth now and not make a mistake.
Okay, here we go then. The Russian Timozianov has made a couple of absolutely killer passes. He's been my man of the weekend with those moves. He's got to get it right in the Joker lap now. Bakkerud comes into the standard lap. The Russian one is on the inside. He's on the handbrake. He's a little bit deep, but he's going to straighten the car out. Timozianov has taken 6 years to do it, but finally he wins a round of the World Rallycross Championship. Yes, Timmer! Yes! You can hear the spotters tower has gone mad. Timozianov has broken his duck. He sends the car into a celebratory donut. He wins the the first ever World Rallycross at Spa-Francorchamps. The Russian takes a win, and I am over the moon for him. I cannot hide it.
Oh, that's so fantastic. He's putting such incredible driving this weekend.
Yes! Yes, Timmer! Yes! Oh, I knew he'd go mad if he did it. He's finally done it. He's finally done it. Oh! There is nothing I can say that will make you know how much this means to Timmer. Just brilliant. He's riding his car along. Yes, Timmer. Backwards. Yes, Timmer. Oh, wonderful. Teen wolfing it on the roof, backwards down Eau Rouge. I mean, you know, it doesn't get any better than that, does it? Timazyanov hasn't won since 2012. He finally takes a win in the FIA World Rallycross Championship at the legendary Spa-Francorchamps. The Russian has done it. Timazyanov takes it from Baccarat. Johnny Wieman with a fantastic performance. It's a double podium for the GRX squad. Timmy Hansen gets fourth. That's a great fight back after the weekend he's had. Bauman is fifth and Liam Doran in sixth. Yes, Timmer. Let us know at home if you're pleased about that. I know you've all got your favourite drivers, but Timmer's such a legend. That is just brilliant. And what a killer drive as well. He was faultless, Dan, and he's been prone to little mistakes under pressure. He's been prone to not getting perfect runs. I didn't see anything there that wasn't mint.
No, it was super performance by him. Maybe the tiny bit in the joke lap, but that didn't matter. He already had put in enough to get himself a huge cap, enough to, you know, afford to take that small mistake, but faultless. Awesome drive.
Timmer's heading to the podium for the top step of the podium. So we ride on board with Timazyanov up towards turn one. Here's Baccarat. Does Timmer get up? He does. Timmer gets up the inside of him in turn one, and I completely missed it because of the carnage that was going on behind him with all the dust. So he took the lead in turn one. That was Doran. Doran must have had damage from earlier, Dan, because I don't know, maybe he rode at the back of Bauman's wheel.
It looks like to me like he just outbraked himself and couldn't stop and caught the back of Baumanis.
Baumanis coming in P5, as I say, has made every final. Great driving by the Latvian this year. He really is a strong, consistent contender. Timmy couldn't get it done, could he? But again, you know, the World Championships are made of dragging a result out of not great weekends, and that's what Timmy's done here.
Yeah, he has put in a good job. He was, you know, down, what was it, P11 last night? And then coming out today in Q4 and winning that, and then picking himself up the standings and now getting into the final and a solid P4 is a good job for him, especially for the championship.
Timmer, though, with his first ever win. Epic. Yes! And do you know what? I love the fact that Backer is the first one over there to congratulate, because Andreas will know what this means, and this is still a great result for Andreas too. Yoni Wieman with a... If someone can't find Yoni Wieman a seat, they're mad, because that was a brilliant performance. Timazyanov's team are with Laura, I think, so we're going to be able to go down and have a catch-up with them. Look how pleased he is. What a drive.
We can see just how much it means to Timmer out there. Absolutely brilliant result. What was it like for you watching that, spotting that from up here?
It looks and looked amazing. I mean, this was end of 1.5 years hard work actually for the whole team. We started a year and a half ago, group of extremely passionate rallycross people, and now we finally got the first victory and also another car on the podium.
Exactly, absolutely. I can see the emotion in your eyes here. Thank you so much and well done. We'll let you run and congratulate him. Thanks.
Jussi Pinamäki literally feet away from us in the commentary box. Super emotional, and that's rare for a Finn. But Jussi, a brilliant rallycross driver himself, has achieved a win with the GRX World Championship team. Oh, what a result. That's just brilliant. What a weekend, Dan. What a weekend. Yes, road cone hats. I mean, that's good for me. There's a dude in a big road cone on the right. I don't know what the score is there. Maybe he's the important one. Stag do, maybe, do you think?
Probably, yeah.
Oh. Right, we're going to take a look back at Timazyanov's onboard. So let's take a look back at the Russians onboard from the start line. and we should be able to have a look at how he made the move. So, you know, Baccarat just seems to run himself deep. Dan, talk us through it.
Yeah, so Timo Janov here getting a really good start, getting slightly earlier on the brakes. Andreas on that gravel braking turn just couldn't get the car stopped and ran into Wieman and just fully opened the door for Timo Janov.
Let's have a look at Timo from across on the right-hand side. So Timmy here, look, cuts into the back. Doran, okay, so that's him avoiding Wieman, of course, because Wieman got pushed wide. And yeah, I mean, at this point, so Timmy went for the cutback, didn't he? Doran now has outbraked himself. Does he touch the back? We didn't see. And this was Hansen chasing Baumanis. Little nudge of Baumanis. Has a look up the inside. I think this was classic long dirt gravel corner. I just love that corner, Dan. It's brilliant.
It is fantastic, and you could see the gravel there catching Timmy, the car jerking as he's sliding around the corner.
Look at Timmer, look at Timmer. Brilliant, brilliant. It means the world to him. You can tell it just means the world to him. Like, I wonder if this will open the floodgates. I've been saying this for a while, you know, privately in the paddock, that I think, you know, if Timmer got a win, would it suddenly get him right up there? We're going to be able to take another look at Timmer's last lap as well. And you said it was a tiny mistake, wasn't there, in the Joker lap, but he'd done so much, Dan, that he was out in front.
Yeah, so you can see the gap he's got, and he'd put in the groundwork through the whole race, and it was just fantastic effort from him. You can see faultless driving here, super tidy, and then this long corner here, choosing to try and hug the car on the inside and keeping the nose right in.
This must be second to last lap, because Baccarat went lap 5, didn't he? And then Timmer, this was Wieman coming in behind. I feel sorry for Wieman off the start. I have to say, I think he could have won this weekend too. And what might Niklas Gronholm have done? Yeah, it seemed the Hyundai has definitely got the pace. I thought it was tyres when we were talking about the semi, but then for him to come to the final with Baccarat on new boots and him to do that, incredible. Look at this.
Yeah, so coming in, actually got quite a little bit of understeer there and having to just disengage the rear wheels and then running slightly wide again there, but like I said, having done the groundwork, just getting the drive out and then shouting as he goes over the jump to celebrate his first win.
Well, Timo Janov has finally done it. He's finally taken a win in the World Rallycross Championship. The last time he won was Finland in 2012. Amazing. And Laura's actually found a Finn right now. She's with Joni Wieman, who has made a fantastic performance this weekend to get a podium.
Well, your first semi-final win and now a podium for you at just your second ever World Rallycross event. Can you sum up your emotions for me right now? It's third place, it's not the win, but you're here.
Yeah, the emotions are kind of mixed. I tried to go for the win in the first turn, it didn't pay off, so I was sitting in a wall there for a while, but you know, then drive back to the podium feels really amazing, and I could never have expected this coming into this weekend.
Thank you so much, congratulations, well done.
Here are the Drivers' Championship standings then, and Kevin Hansen leads from his brother, but the gap is down to 11 points. Timo Janov is up to P3 on 53. Baumanis stays in 4th place. Baccarat comes up a place. Niklas Gronholm missing the event due to that appendicitis, but not too far off in terms of points, and with the pace of that car here, you wouldn't bet against him or Timo moving up those standings as the year goes on. Laura's managed to find Andreas Baccarat, P2 for the Norwegian here after what had been a perfect weekend. I suspect he'll be pleased.
Andreas, another podium for you. I know you came in TQ, you won your semi. It's perhaps not where you want to be on the podium. How are the emotions?
It's fine. You know, to be honest, I should have had a better start. And if it's one guy that's gonna beat me, and I'm fine with it. It's Timmer. He has been fighting so hard to come back on this podium, and the way he does it, I think he got a little revenge from Hell Norway 2016, where we had a great battle, and he's been so quick and consistent this weekend. So big honor, or all applause to Timmer for doing a great job. For us, I'm just stoked we're back on the podium again. A solid weekend from the whole team. Thank you all to the Baccarat Blues, to RX EKS, all the sponsors we have for making this a great one for us.
Thank you, Andreas. Congratulations.
Team standings after round 3. Team Hansen MJP lead, but only by 1 point. So GRX Tanaka have closed that gap up massively with a fantastic performance from both their drivers. Monster Energy RX Cartel not too far away either. Laura's got him. Timur Timosyanov wins a round of the World Rallycross Championship after 6 years of trying.
Well, Timur, I saw that from the spotters tower. We've seen the commentary, we've seen the replays. How was that win for you from the driver's seat?
Actually, I'm training this corner a lot this weekend. Every run, I have someone in outside of me, and yeah, the guys has done some small mistake on the start line, and I take care of that one, pass them, and continue to drive really clean. That was really good for me. I don't have any feelings just now because it was so many years. I know I've been on this podium in the World Championship. I've been there on the European, but now I'm back, and I really don't believe at the moment yet.
Very happy indeed then. Congratulations to you, the winner today.
There is the podium. And we've been holding Timur Timosyanov up out the back. There he appears on the right-hand side. Brilliant. Just brilliant. Teammate Weeman there to congratulate him, and Bakrud too, and Bakrud really meant it too. Fantastic. And the Russian national anthem. There have been 64 FIA World Rallycross Championship events. Only 3 drivers have done them all. Timur Timosyanov, Andreas Bakrud and Timmy Hansen. Hansen and Bakrud have got 6 wins each to their name, but Timur wins his 64th event. The first one here at Spa-Francorchamps. Hoists the trophy above his head. #1, finally. Someone has a chainsaw engine in the crowd. Good. That seems a suitable celebration for Timur. I'm so stoked for him, Dan. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and I mean, anything that makes a noise in the crowd as loud as possible right now for Timosyanov would be fantastic.
Great to see so many of them down there as well. The whole crowd have made their way to the podium, which is fantastic. Weeman, what a performance from him as well. We can't let that be overshadowed. It's incredible to do that with the little time he has had in the car. You know, I'd love to see him out on more events.
It would be amazing to see him back out again, and especially if he can come in for his first event back in, what was it, 2.5 years, and deliver that performance. What can he do with a bit more seat time?
Now the champagne. And Bakrud giving Timosyanov a good hosing down, and rightly so. Timosyanov has had 2 podiums. The last one was Catalonia 16. I can't remember where the other one was. I want to say Canada, but I'm not sure. But finally, this podium is on the top step. Russian flag for Timur on the top step of the podium, smiling his way through the national anthem. First Russian to win a round of the World Rallycross Championship. Had plenty of Swedes and Norwegians have done it. But that smile tells you all you need to know. It is a brilliant performance from him and the GRX squad. 2 cars on the podium. Timur Timosyanov takes the win at Spa-Francorchamps. Well, what a weekend we have had here. The first ever Spa RX and it's just been, it has been fantastic. You know, it's an F1 circuit that's been here for 100 years. They've built a rallycross track and they've smashed it with the layout. There's a banked gravel corner and a jump, which is, look at this, onboard pictures of people sliding into the air. Timosyanov has been on great form. Dan, I've had a fantastic weekend.
Yeah, super job by the guys here at Spa, and it has to be said, this is one of my favourite tracks on the calendar after seeing it in person. I'm quite jealous of all those guys out there driving because I really want to have a go.
Well, maybe we'll put a lap in the hire car later, mate. Don't tell them. But yeah, fantastic action. Duval, the Belgians, there were 4 of them, I think, on the entry list here this weekend. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it done. Cyril Raymond did well. Liam Doran on a flyer. Good to see the Brit taking a qualifying session win and being the overnight leader as well. That was only the 2nd time in his career. Loads of firsts this season as different people are appearing up at the top of the standings. Semi-final time, backward on the inside of Timosyanov. Timosyanov was up underneath him, but he could not find a way through. It just couldn't be done. This was contact between Kevin Hansen and Doran. Backward was on the front, and we thought he was going to be able to take the win. Semi-final 2, and Weeman destroyed everyone to book a slot at the front of the final. Final preparations underway. This was turn 1. Timosyanov got the job done then, but he had to hang on for 6 whole laps. Hansen pushing hard, Timmer sideways, almost backwards into the joke lap, but he takes the checkered flag, and that face and those donuts are all you need to know. His first win in 64 attempts. Silverstone is in a fortnight's time. We'll see you at Speed Machine. I cannot wait.